Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Geek First Podcast, episode 485. I am the Sea Beast, Kirklin Patzer, and who am I joined with today?
I'm the Clown Prince podcast, Travis Snell.
I'm the caster of Curiosity, Dylan was.
And I am the lucky ladybug, Jessica.
That's so funny. Just literally last newscast, Travis, you made the point of like, oh, how do we decide like who goes in what order? And then here we are. I'm the one leading us in, and then we dropped the ball because we
were on a bit of a hot streak, I feel like, but you know, no streak
I
lasts
wasn't
forever.
here for that. What was the decision?
Yes.
Is it
There
by
was no
picture
decision.
order? Oh.
Just
No.
I was saying I don't know how it started. I started going second. I think it was just a random me, Travis, Taylor podcast, and then I just decided to just go in there because Taylor's always so polite and he's just like
Yeah, he
delays
is, yeah.
and he wants me to go. So then I just started going with it. So now it's like I don't even wait for like a queue or anything like that. I just go second. But here we are today. I went
I
first.
feel like you could do it by pictures, and then it doesn't matter how many people are in here. If it would have gone like Kirklin, Dylan, and then I guess me, Travis, and then whoever's in that order, you just keep going with it. Just
Travis
pre-decided.
now, you had your hand up there.
Oh, not about this situation. It's not going to get fixed tonight. But you know, I'm open for suggestions. I think the picture, you know, whoever's hosting goes in the top left where Kirkland's, then you go down from that, and then that happens. But
That
either
could
way,
work.
talk about another mix-up we had this week. So I'm going to reveal this. Jessica won't care. But so Jessica messaged me yesterday. She's like looking at the counter for GeekVerse, and she sees that there's the Hobbit releases, and she says, "Well, when did you guys record those? When do you record those? I don't see them on the calendar." I said, "2017."
It's like when your Dark trailer came out, right?
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Essentially
much.
5 years ago.
Yeah. You can get those now. They'll be dropping in August, but you can still get them. The most longest, earliest exclusive episode we've ever had on Patreon. So there you go.
I love it. I still haven't seen the Hobbits actually, and I probably won't ever watch them. Honestly, I feel like I've been told by a lot of people that the first one is pretty good, and then after that is just
Watch the 5-hour supercut and you're good to go. I have not watched that, but it's probably pretty good.
Really?
from what I've
That'd be
heard.
interesting. I feel like though, Kirkland, with what you might do eventually at sometime in the summer, New Year, whenever that might happen, you might have to watch those things. You know.
But like I've read the book, like I've gotten all that content, so like I know what happens. Do I need to see like the
I think
visuals?
They
so,
add
because you're gonna
tons of
get one-
characters and
Yeah.
battles and all that.
More Orlando Bloom. You know, you're gonna get some
Interesting love
fan.
triangle that's not in the book at all.
You're gonna get some fan of like, well, is he really a big Mordor, Lord of the Rings fan? He hasn't even seen the Hobbit.
Mordor? Is he a big Mordor fan?
He hasn't even seen the Hobbit trilogy. You know, 1 star.
Hey, there's definitely those people out there, but
How was our
Yeah,
quality
no.
back in 2017? Maybe we have to
Not
re-record
good.
it.
Not good. Well, you guys could be happy to re-record. I will not. I think I said that's the last time I watched those movies was that retrospective. After we got through that, that was a tough watch. It was a lot worse than I expected when we watched them. So there's some fun in there. Taylor had some good times in there because he really liked some of the dwarfs. So
He does,
wee
yeah.
lad Gimli. But there you go. You and Kirkland can
Some
record a
memorable moments.
retro part 2. That's what you can do. Yeah,
I think I'm busy
Fans?
that day. But
Oh,
I have a birthday.
Classic.
you got a birthday.
You were the one that suggested re-record again, and you're busy.
I just said we could. I didn't say I
She
would.
just wants us
Okay.
to do it. She doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
To have us suffer. But speaking of being busy, we are extremely busy this month, and it's just podcast life in general. So, what we got going on this week? I know we got Jurassic World Dominion dropping. That review, I imagine, will be
Drops on the Saturday, records Friday night.
okay. Perfect. So, super excited for that one.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part because there was no retro for Fallen Kingdom, so I wasn't a part of that review. But I still watched it. That was the second time I'd seen
Still
it since
bringing
the
it up.
movie theater going experience. And I will say, like, I think I was definitely hating on it more than like I probably should have. Like,
The context soured it for sure.
yeah, but
But
like,
I've also never rewatched it, so I don't know.
Emily and I were
take-
just rewatching it 5 minutes ago. Don't do it. No.
No, I have watched it. I'm saying like I think there's certain things that I could at least like jot down as a positive. Like I still think Chris Pratt's good. Bryce Dallas Howard's good.
Sure.
But
That's
yeah,
it.
like overall, I will say, especially like once the movie gets to a certain part, I'm just so checked out and like I'm just so not interested in what's going on. So that, and it's a freaking long movie, man. It's Travis Snell, GeekVerse podcast, chance to show his true quality.
I'm gonna say thing because Taylor's at a wedding, and like obviously that thing almost broke up the podcast. But the good thing is, I know Taylor. He doesn't go back and listen to podcasts. He's one of those guys. I try to keep up when I'm not on them. He doesn't. That movie's so fucking bad. It's so bad. I'm gonna play nice on the review this Friday because I'm sure it's not gonna be a good movie either. But watching this again, I said to Emma, like, you know what? Maybe I was just disappointed in the moment. Rewatching it just 5 minutes ago, it's awful. It's so bad. I can't. Like, we paused an hour in, and I thought it had been 2 hours. It's terrible. It's an
I remember
awful
your
movie.
quote, like when we were still in the theater, was like, "This is the worst blockbuster
of all time."
Is that still an accurate statement? Would you say?
I think it's up,
later?
yeah, top 3 for sure. But I'd have to make a list, but it's up there. At least from definitely in the Geekverse era. I still say like those movies that are like 150 plus budget.
Yeah,
100%. I'll take Rise of Skywalker over that any day. My God.
Yeah, no, it was rough, but I mean, nonetheless, I watched it all, so I felt like we had made it that far. I'd made Shay watch all the Jurassic Park and Worlds with me, like in anticipation for Dominion. So we finished that journey together. And
man, what's with like Jurassic Park 2 and 3 not being on any streaming service?
I don't know.
I know, right?
It's
They were
kinda
on
fucked
Netflix not
up.
too far long ago too. I don't get it.
Yeah,
oh
I
well,
don't know
no,
what
it
happened
is.
there.
It is on one. It's just we don't have it. It's on Peacock in America, so they probably just like,
Right.
made it in Canadian deals. But
It's messed up.
yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, we got that dropping. You guys ready for the Black Adam trailer tomorrow? I
Well,
absolutely am.
We're also doing we're doing a mini cast for the Black Adam trailer
Oh,
tomorrow.
thank you,
That's why
Travis.
I said it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so we got a super fun Strikers Day coming up too. So are you guys ready, like mentally? I know the game's not out yet, but
Oh, absolutely.
did you get your
Mhm.
hands on the demo? I think you did, didn't you?
Played like 10 minutes
10
Yeah.
minutes.
just to feel the buttons. You course
so
through
you
my
have an
veins.
unfair
you know?
advantage going into Saturday. 10 more
Not
minutes.
much.
No, I only did a little bit of trial, but I'm ready. I'm more than
Yeah.
ready. Jessica, who do you got your money on between Kirklin, Dylan, myself, and Taylor? Someone in the chat, this loser right there, might be joining, but it's a round robin. Who do you got your money on a Strikers tournament? It's a Strikers Cup. That's what we're doing. Winner at the most points gets the cup. There's no cup. It's just pride.
I'm gonna go with Dylan.
Oh, let's go.
Interesting.
Okay. It was good that Jessica could join us tonight, but she's busy. Her internet dropped out. That really sucks. So. Oh, she's back. Good thing. Good
I
thing.
appreciate it, although I do think I have a losing record in Strikers against both you and Taylor. I mean, I don't know if I've
At least
officially
me.
played you guys, but
Oh yeah.
at
That's how
least
I took the title
I will
off
say
you.
though, in Strikers Charged, I'm a far better player. So, and that's the most recent Strikers. So maybe I have an advantage there. You never
So
know.
there's some motion controls.
Oh,
in
I
there, you
love
have the
those motion
advantage.
controls.
Yeah.
Swinging that Wiimote around like a madman.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, Strikers coming up, and then we got Obi-Wan dropping. Breaking the fourth wall later tonight. I just watched
Yep.
episode 3 again. Oh, I'm so ready for episode 4. I'm loving that show. We have Miss Marvel dropping
Yeah.
tomorrow, I
Oh
believe.
my God.
Well, yeah, for the audio listeners, drop Thursday, but we'll be recording it live Wednesday on 8 or something like that. So yeah, lots of
Right
stuff.
on, yeah. And then
Team Titles matches this Friday,
Team-
5
yes,
p.m.
thank
goes
you.
live. Kirkland,
Yes,
Saris
me and
versus
my
me and
boy
Taylor,
Saris.
best of 3. Yep.
absolutely
good one.
lots of fun there, and yeah, just tons of content. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled on that. What's something else I'm
Summer
forgetting?
Games
Help me out.
Fest,
Summer
Xbox
Games Fest,
Showcase.
Absolutely. Dylan just
Every-
reminded me about that too.
I
We
did.
literally got a week's worth of podcasts.
Xbox Showcase
Yep,
coverage.
Xbox Showcase. Yeah, Taylor made
Absolutely.
I got to see your thumbnail. I like that for our cast. He did the Jeff, like all the Jeff
Mhm.
ones, and then he did all the Phil's one and everything like that.
He sure did,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and reminder, go check out Manscaped, 20% off, worldwide shipping. I love saying that, even though it's like free international shipping. I feel like it just sounds better when you bring in the word worldwide. You get 20% off everything on the website.
World premiere.
Everything I've used, I've absolutely loved. You've heard our takes on it. We all love it. So make sure you go check that out. Major big thanks to our Patreon producers. We got Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Carl Ritchie, Smalley Biggs. They are the ones that are really keeping the lights up on this podcast. And we love all the support and effort. So thank you very much. Yeah, I think I nailed everything. So maybe we can just jump right into our main topic here. We have a surprise appearance with Travis Snell tonight. He was supposed to have the day off. We have a ladybug finger up in the air. Jessica.
Ladybug.
Did you list off everywhere they could find us? Did I just happen to miss that?
Probably not. I'm still ironing out the wrinkles on all my plugs, but
They know where they can
you can find
us. Come
us at
on.
GeekVerse.ca. That's our landing page for
That cuts
it's our-
everything.
yeah, it's
There's
got
everything
everything. It's
there.
got our Facebook, our Twitter, Patreon, importantly. So yeah, and yes, thanks for reminding me, little Miss Ladybug. But as I was saying,
Little
Travis wasn't supposed to be here tonight, but some major news dropped. In regards to the Clown Prince of Crime. I almost called him podcast. The Clown Prince of Crime, Mr. Joker. Travis, Travis, lead us into this Joker news as I take a sip from my tea here. I've been talking too much.
I better so you stop calling him Mr. Joker. Yeah, it's obviously been talked about for a few years now. It's been back and forth, but it's kind of funny that last week the cast that me, Kirklin, Dylan did, we talked about that Zaslav, the new owner of WB, which is now Warner Bros. Discovery, had a meeting with Todd Phillips about some certain stuff with DC and everything. And I'd say the meeting went pretty well because two things got posted today, pretty much not in words, but it got confirmed that Joker 2 is happening. I got a post of the script, like the title page, which is someone that knows more French than me will probably say it better. I can't remember what the actual title is.
Folie à deux.
Yeah, it's not going to stay that. It's definitely not going to stay that, I don't think, for marketing. But what that means is it's Joker, aka Madness of 2 or something like that. Madness of 2 or 4-2 or something like that. And there's a whole breakdown of what that means. But yeah, so he posted that, and he posted a picture of Joaquin Phoenix with a cigarette, reading the script. I don't know why this guy, he fights so much to eat healthy, and here he is with a cigarette. But I digress. Still a great actor. And then it is a
Prop
rare
cigarette. You don't know it's real.
It's definitely rare. This wording is based off a rare disillusional disorder shared by 2 or more people with close emotional ties. So it's all about confirm this happening. No date, obviously, right now. But if you look at the picture of Joaquin Phoenix, he's holding the whole script in his hands. He has the Phoenix printed on it. So this script is probably done or going through rewrites and whatnot. So you could probably see this if it's a small budget. I don't know about next year, but the next 2 years probably for sure. So Dilmas, I want to throw it to you first because we talked about I think on the Joker review, like you, me, and Briggs went back and forth about like, oh, should this be a solo movie? Shouldn't it? And I think at that point we had some box office, so we kind of knew, okay, it's doing pretty well. So we're at the state now where it looks like we're going to be getting this movie, and the first one was a 50 to 70 million budget movie, but made $1 billion. So obviously you can probably know why, from a business standpoint, why they want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited from the perspective that this is probably my favorite DC movie that exists. I love that movie. Watched it a few times now, and yeah, it's great. It's something different than the other kinds of movies they make. Yeah, I still all these years later, I guess when it comes to a sequel, like just hearing about that doesn't necessarily get me hyped just yet. I don't even know if it's a trailer or something that will get me excited. I think it'll just be like when I'm sitting at the theater and watching it is when I'll be like, oh man, I kind of miss this, because it has been a while since I've rewatched it. But yeah, I think that movie, the first one, stands alone as something that really could just be a one and done, and that's perfectly okay. So I'm really curious what the direction is going to be with this second one. Obviously, we got that name hinting at probably Harley or something like that. So we'll talk about what that means. But yeah, I'm interested. I can say that I'm excited for a DC movie again, which I don't have any other ones on my radar. So
Batman
That's
2,
good.
I'd say. Are you a little excited for the Batman?
oh yeah, that's
2?
fair. That's fair.
We got two. We got 2 for Dylan in the chamber.
Mhm.
So
They're on a hot streak.
yeah, 2, big old 2. What about you, the Ladybug, Jessica?
I love Joker. I don't actually think I got to talk about it with you guys because I watched it at a different time. But I'm in the same boat as Dylan where, this is one of my favorite DC films. And yeah, besides the Batman, the only one that would be on my radar to be interested in watching another one. I am interested to kind of...
I'd say Shazam 2 for you. I remember you and Taylor being Shazam
yeah.
fans.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
see,
Shazam
I knew there was one other one. Coming out
Everybody's got a
December.
DC film
Yeah,
that they love.
everyone gets one. Everyone gets one.
So, I'm not 100% sure where they are going to go with it because this one was very, realistic in that slow madness and, once we start getting into the Harley Quinn, if that's where it goes, get the acid, things like that. I don't know that I want it to go that direction. I want it to stay very realistic, but I'm not 100% sure how they do that without making it kind of stray from the same feeling that the first one had. So, but overall, I'm excited.
Well, I was going to say, because they've changed it now in the movies, but originally Harley Quinn was just a woman that put on like clown makeup and everything because Joker was died. So I don't think you'll go down any route of any acid bleaching or anything like that. I think if it was anything to do with Harley Quinn, and I don't even think it would be, I don't even know if we're going to get to that per se, because with that title, like there's three things I take from either it's about Harley, which is like the easy one to jump to, right? Because it's the madness of two. But even though, like I said, it said that disease or whatever it listed was the linking of two or more. So it doesn't necessarily, like, I still have always said why I could see this having another film is at the end where all the people lift him up. I've always said, okay, you could do a Charles Manson like Joker, and they could literally just make it about like cult of people following him around, and that's why it's two or more. Now it does suck for the people that say, hey, I really like the version of the film where it's all in his head, or like you get to pick, because the second you do a sequel, you're probably going to have to answer a lot of those things, so that goes out the window. But I think that it's either going to be Harley, you have Bruce, because Bruce just lost his parents, and it's his maybe brother, so you could possibly have something there. Or I think you could, the madness of two, honestly could be Arthur Fleck and Joker, and they might do like a very Moon Knight situation, where it's like Joker and Arthur are complete different entities, where Arthur's maybe trying to get help, be better, while Joker, who's played by the same actor, same personality, is like messing up his life, and he's trying to be bad. It's like stuck inside him, kind of like the way everyone said like The Laugh was the Joker trying to get out. So for some reason I want Harley to be in there, because I want the I think it'd be great to see, we didn't get to see in Suicide Squad, the idea of this therapist meets a guy and falls in love with him. But for some reason, I don't know why, even though we have two Jokers going on with the Batman and this, I don't want to jump on the Harley train yet, because I just feel Margot in there. But Margot could be done. There's nothing announced for her, so maybe she's ready to move on. But it could, obviously, when you hear Joker and then the madness of two, right away you jump to Harley, and I think that it's plausible, and I want it, but I don't know how likely it is. That's what's interesting.
That is interesting.
I'll go ahead and say, though, when I first read it, my first thought actually wasn't Harley. It was two voices or two personalities within his own head. So I don't know if I'm the odd one out of the four of us, but that was definitely my first thought.
I thought Harley as first is like that's the obvious, like that adds even more money to the box office. But to me, if you look at the way that movies played, I think him dealing with two personalities is more likely, or something like that, or like S-Bubs is joking about, like people have talked about there being like a copycat, and like because William Dafoe like pitched this idea for like a Joker 2 apparently, of him playing like a copycat Joker, but that could literally be it, that maybe there's some just sycophant like fan of his that's trying to like outdo him. Like that title, like right away you look at it, you're like, oh, I think I got it, but like it could be a multitude of things for this character.
It's just set in France. That's why it's
Send for oh, that'd be we're shipping you off. You're too dangerous for Gotham.
I will give my thoughts after a quick ad break here. So we'll be right back. And we're back. This was super exciting news. I also absolutely loved The Joker. It's the type of film. It's not like a feel-good film for me. I've only seen it, I think, twice, and like, it doesn't mean like I watched it the second time I was like, oh, this movie's not good anymore. It's just like, man, this is a heavy film. Like, I can't just watch this all the time. I'm sure there's people out there. Travis, maybe you're one of those, but
I'm gonna watch it tonight probably. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm not even lying. Yeah, because it's got me in the mood. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a phenomenal film. I think something that's so an additional thing that makes that film so special is that like it can stand really strongly on its own. You don't need any like side characters. Like, it's all Joaquin's performance that's just like carrying that type of film. And I think initially, like when I saw the Folie à deux title on there, that's my little French there. Hopefully Taylor's listening to this so that he can appreciate my French language. I know Maddie will. Or it's just like this fucking English speaker butchering my language. But I think, yeah, like when I first saw that title, my mind did go to Harley, and I think my initial pushback thoughts there is, okay, I know Harley can be done really well, but I think if you incorporate another actor into like a supporting role like this, like it is going to be, it's going to be depending on that performance to like see like the full capabilities of what the movie could be. Like I still think Joaquin can be really, really good, but if we like a mediocre Harley, let's say it's not Margot or anything like that, I do think that has the possibility of like bringing the movie down a bit. I think just in the back of my mind, I know Joaquin is so good. He's such a powerhouse. I know he can stand it on his own. I think I'm just a little bit worried if we get a second one, I might not be able to have like that great experience that I did for the first one. And again, like that might just be a pessimistic point of view on it, but I don't know. It's tough when Joker was such a standout movie. It's like it's tough for me to just think of how they're gonna match that, right? But again, I should be open to it. I think I really like that idea of if there is no Harley, it's just like a internal battle thing, because like that's a big part of what that first movie was, right? And I can only imagine if they just play on that even more so in the second one, like just certain moments that can just leave you like in awe, because the first movie definitely had those moments where like I felt sick to my stomach at parts. It's just like I can't believe this is actually happening. Like this is insane. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, if they can just get close to or match that quality what the first film was, that's fantastic. And yeah, like does this one get $1 billion just like the first one did, or is it just because the first one was such like a shocking type? I don't know.
I won't say $1 billion because that's very tough, and like for obviously it's people. Spider-Man hit it right, but we're still in a pandemic world where people still see movies a little bit less, and it's still rated R. I think the first one just had such a buzz of that, it's a dangerous movie, and had like it's a Joker, it's rated R, yet da 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 da. I don't think it's gonna hit $1 billion. I think people, if they have that barometer of like, oh, well, if it doesn't hit that, it's a failure. No, like I've always said before, you can make a Joker movie and it makes $500 million. It's still an uber success based off 50 to 75 million budget. Like it's like all they have to do is make this movie make 200 million, which this movie would make, because it's still gonna have the Joker name. And I still think there's gonna be tons of people that I know, like you were talking about Kirklin. I think that's the biggest worry for people is, can it match the quality, or will it like hurt the first one a little? And that's why lots of people were in the camp of they didn't want a sequel, because it's very 50-50 as far as people I talk to, as far as people that yeah I'm down, or no absolutely no, I wish it was standalone. So I think no matter what, it's gonna be profitable, because I think there's that idea of you do want to see it again, and it is something that's kind of, it's interesting because Leto kind of counts because of the Zack Snyder cut, but he only did 5 minutes. You've never had a live action actor play the Joker really twice in a movie. You had Jack, they killed him off. You had Heath, supposed to do 3, obviously he passed away. You got Barry Keoghan, okay, he could be in the next Batman movie, and then you got Leto, but those are all very minor performances, right? So I think that does help that he won an Oscar for this, and a lot of people like that Joker, that people no matter what are just going to see it just on the basis of I liked the first one. So I still think it's going to like be like a huge hit. I'm still thinking like $500 million. $1 billion might be tough, but again, it all depends on, like you said, if there was a Harley, who they add in that role. I think that's where you made some good points of like why I wouldn't want a Harley, because I'd like it still just to focus on Joaquin, who that's the big thing too from this is all so many years, or the past years, people that it's never gonna happen because Joaquin won't do a sequel, but he has a script in his hand and he's getting paid lots of money, so he's done a sequel. So when it comes to Harley on screen, since I haven't seen the like older Batman movies, like when has that been done? Because I know obviously Never.
Suicide Squad.
Squad.
So to me that's an exciting prospect, because I've always just kind of heard that that's a really fun dynamic in the comics and stuff. But as someone who hasn't read the DC comics, like I don't really have any point of reference to that. I'm just taking people for their word, because Suicide Squad was absolutely not that, of course.
Trust me, it's good, bro.
So that's really exciting for me, and I kind of hope it goes down that road. Or what you mentioned of Bruce Wayne and that kind of being this weird partnership, that's also something I haven't seen before. So I'd be interested in seeing that. I think for me, like if it was like a multiple personalities thing, I think that would be pretty unexciting for me. I'm sure I'd love the movie and it'd be well done considering how much I like the first one, but that's not really the route I'd want it to go. I like the idea you pitched too of the kind of multiple personality, or the multiple part of that whatever subtitle referencing like a cult kind of leader thing in some way.
Yeah.
But I think if you like to follow that idea down to a full movie, I just see like some big fight scene at the end where this whole
Oh, yeah.
cult is like up against whatever, and
50
like that's
Jokers versus each other.
and that's I don't care about, like, I feel like I've seen that movie many times. Whereas this unique relationship between Harley or Bruce and him, like those are really cool ideas. And I mean, it doesn't have to be Harley necessarily. It could be just some other love interest or character like that in some way that teams up with him that I don't know about from the comics. But I hope it goes more down that road instead of the other two that we discussed.
He does have a new girlfriend named Punchline. He replaced her.
See, I'm down. Like,
Yeah.
bring me some Punchline. Let's see it.
Harley got too popular as like a solo character, so they need like a new one. But this one's a bit of the reverse, where Joker's more obsessed with her because she like kind of treats him like shit, and she's like kind of like very violent. He's like, oh, look at this lady and stuff. But
That sounds good to me. I'm down with that.
yeah, no, and that's where the counter of like where I would want to see Harley, because obviously with Squad with Margot Robbie, I don't think we're ever getting that. I don't think we're getting that Jared Leto Margot movie. They kind of ran through that in Squad. So that'd be years away. I don't think what they introduced with Barry Keoghan and the Batman is Harley. Like, I don't think they're going down that route. I just don't see Matt Reeves being like, yeah, we're gonna do him and Harley, and like he's a really disgusting looking guy and stuff. So that's the counter for myself, is I've always wanted to see the mad love story of, like I said, she meets Joker, here's the story, falls in love with this guy, gets twisted. In Walking Phoenix type sequel or movie, I could see that being done, because the first one's a whole character piece where like these other future DC movies, I can't really see them, oh, we're gonna make a film, an hour and a half film about like therapy, you know, where you could tell me, oh, that's what the sequel to Walking Phoenix is. I could believe that. So it is possible. And who they'd get as actress, that's gonna be tough. I say you just go get his wife, Rooney Mara, because the chemistry's baked in right there. She's a phenomenal actress, but I don't know if she brings the star power. But Kirklin, I see him looking her up. You've seen her in a bunch of stuff, don't worry. But that'd be my pick right now. But
so
yes.
I guess looking at Margot Robbie,
yeah,
like, to me it seems, and I've never like listened to an interview with her or anything like this, but it seems to me like she likes playing that character and would want to continue playing it in the future. And as of right now, like, is there any announced DC movies that she would appear in? Because Birds of Prey didn't do that well at the box office. They're not doing more of that, I assume. Is James Gunn doing another Suicide Squad? Do we know about that? I know he's back over in Marvel verse for a bit.
yeah. So he did Peacemaker with Cena. They're doing a season 2, and then they're gonna do more of that. Jessica, did you see Peacemaker?
About 5 minutes of the first episode.
Did you not enjoy it?
I just started it, and then I had to pause it for something, and then it just never went back.
That's
It's
fair.
still on pause.
Either way, I will say there was, I won't say who, but there was massive DC character cameos in that. She was not one of them, but
Okay.
they were like the A-list, like actual actors in Peacemaker, that it was like a holy shit, they actually got some of these actors.
Right.
It was not Affleck or Cavill, unfortunately, but it was some of those characters. So he has hinted that once he does Guardians, he's done with Marvel. He's said that nicely, and he apparently has like 3 to 4 things at DC. I wouldn't be surprised if there's spin-off of Squad stuff and she appears them. I know people have had this idea of like, what if he's working on an actual Harley Quinn movie with her as a, like, her, because she's producing too. So I think there's possibility, but as far as what's on the actual books, as far as announced, nothing I could see
really.
other than like a Peacemaker season 2, which is confirmed. But that's still another like 2 years away at
Well,
this
even
point.
and that kind of thing, I mean, that'd be fun. Like, she could pop up for a scene or an episode or something like that. But I think if she was wanting to sunset the character, her performing the character, like, this probably would be a pretty good opportunity to do that kind of thing. I get one more big bombastic performance or movie that's really focused on her, whereas Birds of Prey happened, but even that was an ensemble thing with a bunch of characters. So
Yeah.
I think to just get one where it's pretty much just focused on 2 characters, give her a lot of time, and that, you know, the counter to that immediately is that, like, the tone that she brings to that character. Obviously, she's an amazing actress; she could do whatever. But would it feel jarring if it wasn't as jokey and silly and quippy if they bring her in there? Like, I think I would be okay with that, but I can understand how that maybe goes against what they've built up for this character over the course of, what has she appeared in, 3, 4 movies as a character now?
3 Squad, Birds of Prey, and other Squad.
Yeah,
The
2
Squad and 2 squads, and a basket and a pear tree. But see, I think she could do it, but I think she could do it in a parallel universe where the movie we got in Suicide Squad, a different actress was playing her, and then we got this. Margot Robbie is fully capable of doing that type of performance, but I think they would never.
I mean more from like the audience perspective of like,
Oh,
we
I
go
agree
to
with
this
you. No, they
and we
wouldn't.
see this
Yeah.
character and it's like, wow, this is not the person I watched in the two squads or Birds of Prey.
Yeah, and I think that's why they wouldn't, because I think the audience wouldn't accept that either. They'd want that type of Harley, and you wouldn't get that type of Harley with Joaquin Phoenix. At least I don't think. I'd like to see in some like multiverse game, animated form. But like, man, put
What if
Joaquin Phoenix.
episode?
Man, imagine Joaquin Phoenix as Joker in multiverses, just like this depressed, like
He's got
what
his
is
like little book, his
Yeah.
photo when he's on doing his stand up.
yeah, his power is like non-laughter, like it absorbs laughter away from people because he can't get any and stuff. But actually, his laugh, that cackling, that'd be a great power. Like it just sends shockwaves. But no, I think Margot in this movie is like a 0% chance.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think they'd
Not
want,
even 1%.
No, I think Phoenix
Wow.
and Phoenix and Phillips would want their own person. They wouldn't want you thinking about Margot like that Joker or that Harley at all. They want their own stamp. If it was a Harley, it's someone new, different, someone you don't think of. 0%. That's my thing. Yeah.
I completely agree with you that Margot, in my opinion, could definitely pull that performance off. But I think it is just such a different flavor of like this like universe playing field that Margot's Harley Quinn is coming from, and then throw her with Joaquin's. Like it's just such a stark contrast, I would say. So I think if they did go like that route of wanting to have Margot in there, they would really have to like change her look up and like really make it noticeable that it's like, okay, this isn't like Harley Quinn. This is like Harley and Quinzel here. Like this is a completely different character from what you're used to. But at that point, might as well just not cash the huge check to get Margot and just have like another actress. Because
I was gonna say there's probably cheaper actresses out there too. Not to be mean, but there's probably you're probably gonna pay all that money to Joaquin Phoenix. You want to keep it to that low budget. Don't go for Margot Robbie.
And like I think if they go the Harley Quinn route, like not to be negative on like whoever they get to play Harley Quinn or almost said Margot.
Wow.
The future Margot biopic type movie, autobiography. But I think it would just I've lost my train of thought.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of proposing
Help me
like what would happen if you have two Harleys at the same time, right? But as of right now, DC doesn't give a shit because they got 3 Batman. They got Affleck, Keaton, and
Good
Pattinson. All before Flash got delayed, we were gonna have 3 Batman, and we have technically now with this movie confirmed. You have Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, and then you have Barry Keoghan in the Batman movies now. So they've shown that as of right now, and that's where I think it's more likely. Before I was always like, oh, would they want someone to play Harley while Margot's doing it? But now that they've shown, we don't care. If we have a movie we want to tell, let's just recast it and people will figure it out later on. Like the fact that you have 3 Batmans right now. Now I think Affleck's probably going to die in The Flash, but still as of right now, he's in The Flash as an active Batman. He's going to be promoted along with Keaton. So I think that the good thing is you could have this project, and if this could be a one-off, or maybe there's not even a Joker 3, then you can go back to doing Margot Robbie, because they're like Dylan said, there's nothing on the boards in this movie. If the script's done, like I said, it's going to be a cheap movie to shoot. Like it's going to be quick. It's not going to be too hard where it's we have this Margot for 6 years,
Yeah, I wanted to bring up that we've talked a lot about the various issues that DC movies have had in the last few years, and part of that you could definitely lay down on studio executives and people like that who are making changes and all this stuff going on in the background. And that's one of the reasons why Joker succeeded, is because it didn't have that. We talked about this a lot last week. And so Zaslav is this guy, kind of a nebulous figure, right? But we talked about him a lot last week. And I would assume that he would just say, do whatever you want to do, man. I'm not going to mess with you at all. Like you have 100% creative freedom here. And if you need some more budget, do it. Although like hopefully they don't need too much budget to achieve like what I hope their goal is simple enough that they don't need just tons and tons of budget. But is there concern from any of you on that okay, now that this is back under, like he is making this under studios like approval and all that stuff, that there could be like some tampering and not being kind of the same like just full creative vision that we had last time?
Jessica?
I mean, I would hope not. And I guess it really depends, because we have things like, Deadpool got kind of absorbed, right? But they're claiming that they're still going to keep everything the exact same, still going for that R rating. So
that's what they're saying,
it hasn't been proven yet, but so looking at what a big, successful, and popular film Joker was, I wouldn't think they would want to try and change that and try and limit it in any ways. I think you would want to keep that and try and, make $1 billion again.
And plus, I think it's like, you're right, Dylan, they'd probably give him a bit more money, but I still think what would happen is that the film budget would relatively stay the same, and the only thing that would really go up is like Joaquin's salary. That's what I really think.
Right.
I think maybe they could probably go up a little bit more. Again, they're a proven commodity. Again, like they were banking off the last one, but I don't think this one would, because I think they're going to be in this weird zone. Because again, another report came out today of Variety that made a lot of people mad, because they're like, some people view Cavill's too old to play Superman anymore, and all this sort of stuff, right? But in this, again, we've had like 5 reports the past month now that Zaslav, again, in this report was like he's looking for his Feige, right? So that's going to happen. So I almost feel like while he's looking for that, it's like, well, Joker and the Batman 2 are perfect films because they're outside continuity. They're doing their own thing. So let's say while you're waiting to find someone that's going to create your new universe, whether you reboot or not, do these films that are just one-offs and make some money and maybe, get some praise. Like Batman may get some Oscar noms this year. I think the solo films are smart, where it's like, yeah, go do your stuff while we're trying to figure out how to get to, let's say, Justice League 2. Put these ones out, or put out like the Penguin show from the Batman, because that's where if they bomb or if they're not good, it's like, oh, well, they're their own thing. So I could see almost that's another reason why he's green lighting these, because it's almost easier that way, just to make these while we're figuring out our big stuff, What do you got to smile over there, Kirklin?
I was just giggling. I saw an article for the Joker thing, and I was just reading some random person's comment, and it was just like, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it's just like, ugh, Joker sucked. If I wanted to watch a better movie about the cynically self-absorbed white guy going crazy and taking a shit on the world, I'd just watch the movies this one is clearly inspired by. It's just like, oh, this person did not enjoy the Joker. It's
oh no,
I haven't met anyone that has those thoughts, so it's good to know there's at least a handful of them out there in the world. But,
oh yeah,
Good to know. Right?
and I don't know, Dylan, we might talk about it this week, but you got someone what about Margaret Qualley, there's a perfect Harley Quinn right there. There's the
You think she's a perfect Harley Quinn?
I think
that
she
your
could be
fan
for this type of one. I still think his wife's the perfect one, and I know before people go like, oh, she's much younger. That's kind of the idea of Joker and Harley. That Joker kind of like is a manipulative person, so I feel like you kind of have lots of range on the age there too, because that's the idea. Like he's taking advantage of the situation. So, Margot cameo or Margot, she just came in and licked Kirklin on the cheek.
Yeah, she did. What's his wife's name? Rooney
Mara.
I feel like I haven't I've recognized her face, but I don't think I've actually seen her in anything, because I haven't seen the Dragon Tattoo movie.
Nightmare Alley this past year. Carol.
Yeah, I still haven't
the
seen
Nightmare on
that
Elm
one.
Street remake. Ghost. Lots of great stuff. But yeah, no, she's a phenomenal actress. I had a massive crush on her after Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Phoenix took her away, and that's why I gotta go find my own person. Yeah, that's exactly. Oh yeah. It was her. We were standing her like in the middle, and then him and me, and she chose to go to Phoenix's way. But I get it.
She was leaning you for a little bit though, right?
Yeah,
She's like, well, this guy.
Yeah, but then she found out about the podcast. She's like, this guy's winning Oscars.
What's it
over
called?
Here.
Yeah,
yeah, that's never gonna work. And then she left me in the dust.
Right on.
All right.
Anything else? Joker 2 details? Anybody? Going once, going twice. All
I'm
right,
excited.
Travis Snell, are you leaving us?
I am, yes, because I'm gonna go to the gym, and then, like I said, I'm taking the reason I'm not on this guy because you guys got a lot of good trailers to talk about, which I'm very excited to listen about. But yeah, after this, I got 11-day streak of podcasting. So
Yes.
Joker, I had to come on. 'Cause
Make
he's
it
my
12.
boy. Make it
Absolutely.
12. But
Are you gonna go finish Jurassic
Fallen
World,
Kingdom.
Fallen
yeah.
Kingdom?
probably
Go work
not.
out, watch it. Just get
No,
pissed off.
Yeah.
Go home.
Joker. No, I think
Joker.
tomorrow because Emily's gonna go to gym first, and then we're gonna swap off. So luckily, I think it's better to watch this in half sittings because my brain's gone. So
It's long. It's a long.
it's a long movie. But I almost hit and broadcast. Oh my god. Yeah, I better get out of there. All right, everyone have a good night.
See you, man.
All right. See you later, Travis.
Bye.
And with Travis gone, we'll go to another ad break, and then we'll be back to talk some trailers. So we will be right back. And we're back. So just the three of us. We got a plethora of trailers to talk about, and I'm gonna start us off with the Prey trailer. This is the newest film in the Predator series. What's your guys' history with Predator? Have you seen them all? Do you absolutely love them like Taylor does? Or you just they're okay? What's your thoughts? Dylan?
I've seen a couple of the movies.
Couple
I
of
guess
them, we'll take that.
what is the most recent one that we all enjoyed?
The Predator.
The Predator, yeah.
I think
so
it's just called. I'll double check that more.
I'm gonna guess I've seen the first one, maybe I think like the second one, back in the day. Like my dad likes those kind of movies, so I feel like they were just on sometimes when I was a kid, and I'd tune in. But yeah, like I don't have any sort of in-depth thoughts because it's been so long. And then that most recent one, which was, that was something with that freaking the Glock and everything. Yeah. So I don't have too much experience, truthfully, but I've always thought the idea is pretty cool. I just haven't really dove in fully.
Yeah. Jessica?
So, what year was the one with Adam Brody? Do we know, or do you know off the top of your head?
That's not the most recent one, right?
No.
I didn't even know he was in one, honestly. So that goes to show my experience with the Predator movies.
Yeah,
Look it
I don't
up.
even know who Adam Brody is, to be honest. Adam Brody.
No.
Oh, that's the guy from no.
The OC.
Wait, I don't
No,
know this
it's
guy.
not Adam Brody then. I have the wrong name.
Oh,
Now
so no, I have not seen that one with Adam Brody.
I don't know what year it is to like look this up either, so I'm just, flailing like a fish. Whatever.
Flopping
That's
like
the
a
one that I first saw, and then I've seen kind of everyone after that, but I haven't seen any of the originals.
Oh, okay. Have you seen like
You know,
the Alien versus Predator, like the combo movies?
I have seen AVP, but I didn't watch the second one to that.
It was bad. Apparently the first one's really bad too, but I haven't revisited like since. But I quite enjoyed it when I was younger.
There was a game on 360, Alien vs Predator game.
Mm-hmm.
I never actually owned it, but like the demo had like this online multiplayer part of it. I played that demo for just hours and hours and hours. It was so good.
I love when demos were just more relevant.
Yeah.
His name was Adrian Brody.
Adrian
yes.
Brody.
And
The
it's
guy from
2010.
King Kong.
Yes, that one's called, I think, Predators. That one
Predators,
has
yeah.
Morpheus in there. Sorry, I forget his actor's name. Lawrence Fishburne. There you go.
Mhm.
So I've only not seen two of them: the original Predator and then Predator 2.
Nice.
Which
Do you like them?
is- Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've never. It's funny. I really liked Alien versus Predator,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me
but I've
too.
never seen any of the Alien movies. Not a single one.
Really? That's kind of
Whoa.
surprising.
So,
That's crazy.
but yeah, I do like the Predator movies. I think they're fun. But to transition that, I don't know. I've heard that some people are not sure, why this movie was filmed in English when it's supposed to be, Native American,
Mhm.
like kind of they're putting subtitles in the language that it is filmed in. I don't remember the language or that they actually spoke.
Mm.
So I am kind of wondering how it's going to go if they're not worried about kind of that accuracy of it. If there's,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's based on an alien coming here to kill people, but I am excited for it in the way that it's a fun movie. But I do think after I watch this trailer, I'm a little skeptical on it. The realisticness of, this one person with a bow and arrow to
Yeah.
survive and beat him.
Those are flimsy arrows too. Those aren't like Orakai arrows that are nice and thick. Those are flimsy. You could floss.
Well, I
with
mean, they
those
already
things.
know that they're gonna lose, right? Like that's the nature of a prequel like this.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, there's always someone who manages to, kill one or damage one really badly, so it leaves and they survive. And I think it's gonna be this main person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just kind of wonder how it's gonna play out and how unrealistic that is going to be.
Well, yeah, because like in my mind, with how I've seen the Predator just absolutely fuck up mercenaries with like modern technology, it's like how much of a fight can these people really put up? But hey, if it's boring, I feel, or let me rephrase that. If it's boring and we have our main cast and crew just absolutely getting decimated the entire movie by this Predator, I feel like that's not very entertaining. So there's going to be something in there that, I don't know, maybe levels the playing field a bit. But I don't know. I think for me personally, like this, like having this time period that it's set in, it's something very fresh that I haven't seen, obviously, from the Predator movies before. So that's fun. And I hope they put, I don't know. I just I hope they put a lot of emphasis on the idea of the predator being this like this super hunter that like you can't even really see. Like it's just like kind of hidden in there. And like I think I'm optimistic going into the movie because in this trailer they hide the predator a lot. Like you really don't see it that much, and even when you do, it's not like you see the whole thing. Like it's kind of an action like moving sequence. You know, like almost like a Bigfoot like sighting thing where it's just like you don't actually see it right. It's just you're seeing movement and like not getting like a full picture. And I hope they play a lot with that, with the camera effects and just having the suspense built on this thing that you don't see, because that's a big part of the predator, right? Like it's this perfect hunter that active camouflages, like you can't really track it down. And
But is the idea of this movie to show that like he had to get to that point and he's not going to be that in this one?
I don't. Like maybe again, like maybe I should have started by saying like I don't even have like the most Predator knowledge. Like I've seen the first one, I've seen Alien vs Predator, I've seen Predators, and then the last one. I don't know how many are like in between there. So I don't like even know if like like what you just said, like if this is supposed to be like what took them to like a certain level.
Well, I mean, just going back to Jessica's point of like, well, if this tribe with like their bows and arrows are gonna stand a chance, even though like in it's the first Predator where they have like all sorts of weaponry and they're like military people and stuff like that. Like I don't know how you're gonna justify that other than that like him having learned, or I don't know if is Predator like specifically a him. I don't even know what's going on there, but it seems like they
all females.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It's possible. Yeah, maybe like a Black Widow kind of thing. But like maybe that's the point of this, is that they are like learning the skills, and maybe like they don't have the active camo, like the invisibility thing yet, and that's something they evolve or build like because of this. I don't know. I
possibly.
I personally didn't get much from the trailer. I don't know. It just looks very generic to me and kind of uninteresting. There's really no hook here for me to want to go see this, especially after the quality of the most recent one. And I think this is from the same. Maybe some of the same team and same director or something like that as that, whatever year that was that one came out.
2015 was that one. That was Shane Black.
Was it actually 2015?
It feels not that
serious?
long ago. Eh? Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
what? No, 2018. I'm seeing
2018. Okay, what was the 2015 one then?
There isn't one.
Okay,
I was like,
2015.
I was like, no way, that was the
2018.
first year of the podcast.
2018.
That
Thanks for auditing me. There.
I mean, that's 4 years ago. That I guess that does feel kind of fair. That is still a very long time ago, but yeah, that movie did not do too much for me. It gave me some laughs in the theater, but I don't think that was intentional. So yeah.
So
it
it is a different
like
director.
it's the same. Yeah, it's not the same director or anything.
Okay.
It looks like it's different.
Yeah, and like I will say too, like the overall feel of the trailer feels very different than what that other movie was, and I think that's a plus for me because I really didn't like that movie. But yeah, like I saw one, I don't know, snapshot I guess of the Predator, and he did look or they looked, I don't know if the gender, but it looked very different from like different versions that I've seen. So maybe you're right, Dylan. Maybe this is gonna be like a more, I don't know, early era of the Predators of how they've like Iron Man has his Mark IV like suit. Maybe it's like Mark I of the Predators. So and I think that's exciting. Honestly, I obviously like we saw the shoulder cannon laser beam thing, so that's gonna be making an appearance. But I hope they do a good job at really making this feel like it's a different era film, not just because of the humans like being like not as advanced as we're used to seeing, but also just like what the Predators are. I think that would be really fun because the like on paper this already has the ingredients for something very different of the other Predator movies. I do think a lot of those the native people are going to be just getting murked left, right, and center. I don't know how many are going to make it through this movie, but who knows? Because I know the Predators make it to the future. I know these people do not. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Do you guys think this movie's set up for success in the box office with not having Predator in the title in any way? Not that I don't even know how that 2018 one did in the box office, but I feel like this name is quite generic. Even though I love Prey from Arcane Studios that came out in 2018, the video game, but not a great title, I don't think. And I mean, I guess Prey and Predator are related in a biologically, whatever term you want to use there. But I don't know if it's a good idea for them to take the Predator out of the title.
Jessica, what do you think?
I think it'll probably be helpful, actually, based on the fact of how the last one was received. I mean, if you look at Dylan, he doesn't like the last one. Because of that, he's not really interested in this one. But I mean, if you just go to the theater and looking for something to watch and you see Prey, it's like, oh well, that what is that? I don't immediately just turn off of it. I'm gonna go read what it's about. So, people that want to see it, like Taylor, they'll know, they'll find it out. But the people that aren't interested, it might at least get someone to look if they don't know.
Maybe, yeah. It looks like 160 million in the box office. The 2018 one made off an 88 million budget. And I don't know if that includes like the marketing budget costs as well, but we had profit. We had pretty decent profit. I don't know if that's what they wanted, but it's pretty good.
I'm sure it could have been worse. So
I'm just looking. They did actually record this movie in the Comanche, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, language. So the actual language of the people. So they've recorded 2 versions, and on Hulu, when it comes out, people will actually be able to pick which one they want to watch in. But when they originally premiered it with English subtitles, it did not do as well. So then they made the decision to film in English.
Interesting.
That's really interesting, actually. I wonder I wonder if this movie is going to have good representation or not. I mean, I totally understand the decision to change it in English. I think, you're just setting yourself up for failure by doing that with a blockbuster movie. Like, I don't think people go to those wanting to, like, read subtitles the whole time. So I understand that decision. I'm sure that is, potentially harmful to that community to not, honor that when it comes to the box office. But I guess I can't blame them from a company that's purpose is to make money to make that decision.
Well, the fact that they're still offering it, like, to me, I'd rather watch it
cool
with
that
subtitles.
they are still going to make it available. I think that's probably a good thing with like streaming services in this world we live in now, where they can just release that as well. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely, yes.
Maybe they'll do some special screenings of it in some places, possibly. I don't know.
I could see that. Absolutely. Getting back to just like the title, I think personally, like I like it because it's just something different than Predator. Like we've had Predator, The Predator, Predators.
Yeah, not good naming conventions.
Yeah, like I think if this was set in like a similar time period as the last movie, I think the last movie was actually just like the present day, maybe the near future, but I think the fact that it is a completely different time period, it's like a rebranding thing for it too, like this is coming straight to SBub says going straight to Hulu, so it's not going to have a theatrical release. But who knows, like they might have a couple screenings here and there, but
right.
I don't know
enough
how, like,
just
the
to get them
contract
eligible
stuff
for the Oscars,
yeah, exactly. They're looking to sweep the Oscars this year with Prey. But yeah, no, I hope it does well because I really like the idea of what like the Predator is. I think it's a really cool just creature, thing to have in there in the sci-fi movie realm. So I wanted to have success. But yeah, anything else on Prey, you guys?
No, sir.
No. All right. Let's see how we're doing. Maybe we'll do a quick ad break here, and then we'll jump into our next set of trailers. So we will be right back. And we are back. So now we're gonna go Disney. My peeps. Do you guys love Disney like I do?
Love it. I'm a Disney adult. Get me in there.
Right on. Disney Strange World. This is I'd never heard of this movie at all, but I was very, very intrigued by this trailer. Dylan, what do you think about this one?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of like a No Man's Sky sort of adventure. I just like how much creativity there is in here. Obviously looks great, as these always do. Seems really cool. I also, there's like these floating jellyfish that cruise around, and that's like their transportation system. I don't know if that was kind of like a Finding Nemo kind of callback in a way with the turtles.
With Crush.
What's that?
That's his name, Crush.
Right.
The sea turtle, the surfer dude.
Yeah. I guess the thing for me on this one is I didn't really feel like there was much of a story hook in here for me. it seemed like, oh, we're in this place and something's going bad, like something's going wrong, and we got to fix it. So very uninteresting there. And truthfully, I don't even think any of the characters really grabbed me either. It's really just the world and like seeing these fun locations and creative ideas. It just seems like, okay, like this group of animators, like we got a few months before we have the next script ready for the next big blockbuster. Like, just make some crazy scenes and we'll all compile it later in some weird way. And I'm kind of down for that. It seems like a fun one to check out. I definitely will be. I just I wonder what the story will be and if that will hit me in some of the emotional ways that some of the other Disney movies do usually.
Jessica.
I am almost in this like exact same camp as Dylan, where
Welcome.
watching this, I was just like, this world looks so fun, looks so amazing, and there's so much that they can do with it. The one scene where the cliff starts walking, and there's all these different things in the background to look at too, different creatures, and movies like this where there isn't really limitations on what it is, whatever you imagine, you can create and put in there. I'm excited for that. To me, I'm the same way. The characters didn't matter. I was more looking at everything else that was going on in the scenes. And I feel like this is going to be, a fun one to watch, in the fact that it'll be, 2 or 3 times you can watch it and still pull out little details that they've managed to hide in and make, little Easter eggs into it. I'm really excited about this one. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think very similar to you guys. I think the visuals look absolutely stellar. I love like some of the creatures that they're showing off. It looks just really, really unique. And yeah, like very different colors at different periods of the trailer. So I think that's just a good signifier that we're going to be going to a lot of wacky places in this. And I just love like the aesthetic of like the logo and everything. It has almost like a DuckTales font for like strange, like it's just Strange World, and it just looks really interesting to me. Dylan, I completely agree with you with like the character stuff and like maybe some of the dialogue that they had on. And while I was watching it, I didn't realize like why I was having these thoughts until you like brought it up there of like maybe just certain the characters I'm not getting attached to right away, because I think that's something that really it takes like a really fun animated film and just makes it like so much higher for me is those character stuff. I mean, some of the ones that I've like recently watched, like Encanto, Turning Red, like those movies have just like completely blown me away. And like, I think it's because of the character stuff that I wasn't expecting on. Like the songs are really easy to like just get stuck in your head. Like they're really catchy. The visuals are gorgeous, but I think the character stuff is really what boosts it. And I think what like raises Disney to such a high echelon for me. I love animated shows, and Shay and I are always watching Disney movies, so nice. I'm very, very excited for this one, and I hope it's like one of those of like what I said, like I'm expecting the visuals to be really good, but I'm hoping the character stuff is just better on the film, because I don't know, initial thoughts on the trailer, I think it could have been better. It's definitely not something that's pulling me in to want to watch the movie is those character stuff. It's the visuals and yeah, like the flying starfish looking things and like just the vibrancy. It looked really, really cool. So just quickly see if I have a date for that when that one's coming out. Did you guys see November 23rd, 2022? So there you go. That's the
cool.
That's the
is that a Disney Plus one or is that theaters?
I think it's a theater one. I don't see anything. Yeah, it doesn't say anything Disney Plus exclusive. Let me see. I could be wrong there.
Maybe by the end of the year it'll pop up, if not early next year, I guess. But
yeah, possibly. I feel like they usually don't have that much time between something like this going to theatrical and then a Disney Plus release date. It seems like they're just going so quick now.
Right. Do you guys foresee yourself going to the theaters for this one, or is this one you would maybe wait and check it out on Disney Plus? Because without the story hook, like I don't know if I'm rushing to get there. I
think for me personally, it's pretty limited when like Shay and I can go to a movie together, just because she has night shifts a lot of the time when those movies come out. Thursdays are just cursed for that reason.
Right.
But honestly, if it lines up, because like we're just not able to go to the theaters that often, I could definitely see us both going to this one, because I think this is really up her alley. Like the animation looks really, really cute and fun. So I could see us going there, but I think it's just like the stars have to align in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Jessica, you kind of shook your head, it looked like.
It's just, for me, being a single mom, the amount of effort and money it takes to try and coordinate the ability to go do that, it's just not worth it for this.
Yeah.
it has to be something that I am really looking forward to seeing to try and pull that.
Right.
Especially
Something like Prey or something.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's coming out on streaming, a month or two later, this isn't something where it's going to be completely spoiled by the internet and, okay, I'll just wait it out.
Yeah.
As long as it comes out before Golden Geek nominations, that's all that matters. Then we can all check
that's
it.
Makes it easy for us to watch it. Yeah, absolutely. Any final thoughts on Strange World?
No, sir.
I want to throw out one of the other thoughts I had while watching this is I'm excited to see what kind of merchandise is produced. If they have like the jellyfish as plushies, it just leaves a lot of different options. As soon as those little yellow things kind of rolled in, I was like, oh, that's going to be a stuffy. That's going to be something you can snuggle.
Maybe that's where they started, where it's like, okay, we need to make the perfect toy. And then we now need to put that toy in a movie to sell it.
Hey, don't joke about that. That's probably real because that's why the
I'm
character
not
stuff.
kidding. Like that,
Yeah, that's
I
why the
could
character
totally
stuff
see them
isn't
doing
like
that.
the most standouty in this trailer because
Yeah.
it was all just started with merch and how do they sell that stuff?
And here we are buying it all up, eating it all up.
I mean, they looked adorable. They're masters of making super adorable, marketable creatures and things. All right, let's jump over to Bullet Train. I think this was the second trailer because I remember, I forgot what movie it was, but I definitely had a trailer in there. And that was the first time I'd even heard of this movie. Some big names in there, the biggest of them all, Mr. Bradley Pitt.
Bradley, wow, you're on a
I
full
I hope his
first-name
full
basis,
name
right?
actually is Bradley, and I'm not just like dissing his name here. But Brad Pitt in here, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Joey King, Sandra Bullock's in there. Someone named Bad Bunny, who I don't even know who
Bad
that
Bunny.
is, but a couple people from Atlanta. Jessica, what do you think about Bullet Train? Or did this get you super jazzed and excited and want to go to the theater with your kids?
Probably not theater, but
No.
Brad Pitt's name in this is Ladybug, which is
Oh, okay.
where
There you go.
that's my name coming from that. But I think it's kind of a fun concept of, people just die around him. He doesn't even have to try. People just happen to have these accidents, and it just kind of snowballs and gets kind of worse and worse as it goes. It's supposed to be action thriller, which I think it's going to be a fun ride. I don't know that I'm necessarily on the edge of my seat and, need to see it day one. But I think it's going to be a fun kind of ride to go on watching it, especially with the cast.
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny's a rapper. I'm pretty sure.
Rapper. S Bubs in the chat says, I'm super hyped for Bullet Train. I heard that the second trailer spoiled a lot, so I haven't watched it yet. And I think it definitely had more like story elements than the first trailer, but I think they were able to reuse some of those action shots. I think the first trailer was a good trailer, like on its own, and this one, I don't know, it did feel a little bit longer than it probably could have been, in my opinion. But I don't know, I don't think like there's any major spoilers from it. And then, sorry, I suppose I missed your comment. You said, I think this movie looks really great. Talking about Strange World, seems like it'll be a nice homage to those Journey to Center of the Earth type classic movies. Yeah, those were lots of fun. But yeah, Jessica, Ladybug.
I just want to throw out Bad Bunny is going to be that wrestler superhero.
Oh, Blue Beetle? Is that who it is? Or no, that's the gentleman from like Brazil, I think. The wrestler superhero.
De La Mañana, is that it?
Ooh, that was nice.
I don't see anything on IMDb that would make me know what you're talking about.
Marvel's wrestler superhero, El Muerto. You got a better accent than me. We've definitely probably talked about this on the podcast some point in time, but it's not my favorite superhero, so it kind of slips the cracks in my memory. But yeah, Bad Bunny going to be appearing.
Yeah, El Muerto, 2024. There was big thing on it, and we had people correcting our pronunciation in the chat when we asked what it was.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes, can
S-Bub
always
coming
rely
in
on the chat.
for the Sonyverse.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's why it's forgettable. I hope he does great. I hope it really helps his career. But Sonyverse, it's Morbin
Anyway,
time
back
over
to
there.
Bullet Train.
Back to
I
Bullet
haven't
Train
seen the
over there.
first trailer, so I don't know
Okay.
what to compare it to as far as if things were spoiled more or not. So unfortunately, SBub, I am no help on letting you know if it's worth watching or not.
Yeah, I think it just showed more of like what was already shown in the first trailer, and I don't think you have to watch this trailer. If you've seen the first one, that's good enough. Dylan, what do you think about Bullet Train? Is this getting you excited?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen the first trailer several times in theaters. I don't know why; it just keeps popping up for everything. It seems, and every time, like at first, I'm like, okay, it seems like a fun concept, but to me, it just looks so generic. And but the thing is, I wonder if it's intentionally kind of a generic hook, and it's like almost a parody on that kind of movie. The director David. I don't know Leitch. I don't know how you pronounce that, but did Deadpool 2, which obviously that's great. He did a good job there, and I think even looking like Zazie Beetz is in this movie from Deadpool 2. Brad Pitt was in Deadpool 2, so they must have loved working together for that one cameo shot to work together again. And the rest of the cast, like there's some big names in there, so that's all like exciting in theory. But I guess to me, it just I don't know. It just looks so generic, and so I just really wonder if that is intentional to feel that way. But like I don't know, the humor for me in this trailer in particular not working. Like nothing really made me laugh. Nothing even made me chuckle or even cast a small smile. Sorry to be a downer in that way, but I don't know. It's just not doing anything for me. So yeah. I guess I'd have to wait and see what people's impressions of it are. It's like, oh, actually, this is super good. You got to check this out. Then I will, because the talent's there behind the camera and in front of it. So I guess that's a good sign. I'm not seeing it from the two trailers now that I've seen.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I feel like I'm I'm in two different camps on this movie, because I can definitely see it be one that, okay, there's some big names in there. The actions looks fun, and it looks like it has a certain comedic tone that, like, wasn't making me grab my sides in laughter, but I could definitely see like on screen there could be some moment, especially like just going off Brad Pitt's charm. Like I love Brad Pitt, so I think having him in the lead is a big plus for sure. But I definitely could see it be one of those forgettable films where, like, I'm going into it expecting a lot more, and then it just kind of falls flat, and then I just kind of forget about the movie like within a year, which obviously isn't great. But I could definitely see, like, in the other camp of it being one of those like movies that really does amazing, and like one that I think the word of mouth kind of carries it, where a lot of people are like, oh, have you seen this movie? It's absolutely phenomenal, really surprised me. So I could see it going both ways. Obviously, just if I'm gonna watch it, I want it to be the more positive one. But I don't know. I think I'm I'm not completely sold that it'll be amazing for me, but I'm definitely sold I'm gonna be watching it, because like I said, I really like Brad Pitt, and I think the action sequences looked good enough, and it looks just like I don't know, like a faster pace, just fun movie, and I really hope it hits that. So I'm pretty much excited for this one. I'd say the release date is July 15th, so
pretty
just
soon.
about a month away. Yeah.
The Brad Pitt part of it is interesting. This seems like such a strange role for him, where to me this just seems like a Nick Cage kind of role, in terms of like the quippy nature of it. It's kind of goofy, even like that scene where they're trying to be quiet in that one car. Like that just seems like very Nick Cage, like where directors just give him all sorts of crazy lines that he can have fun going ahead with. So that it seems like an interesting like I guess that maybe makes me think like, okay, Brad Pitt probably picked this up for a reason. Like there's probably something more to it. So I don't know if that's digging too much into that, but I thought it was kind of an interesting performance from him.
Yeah, I think something that's maybe I'm optimistic on too is that the story is actually originally a book. It's from a Japanese author of a dark satirical thriller by best-selling Japanese author
Nice.
Kotaro Isaka. I know I'm butchering that, but I hope I didn't butcher it that much. But I think the fact that it's coming from a book, it gives me some hope that the story is actually going to be really good. I don't even know what the reasoning for there. It's just like I feel like if there's a full
all
length
books
book
are
for
good stories.
you heard it here first. Kirklin Patzer, 2022. So I don't know. It's probably a blind hope there, but hopefully it's good. Let's just have some good movies. You know?
I like good movies.
My hope is, because as everyone knows, I don't like the spy versus spy thing. I'm hoping that by adding more spies, more assassins, that it makes it a little bit more entertaining. But
Multiply it.
in the same boat as Kirkland, that, you know, the book does make me feel like it's got a little more weight behind it, something to that, you know, they can grab their teeth and sink it into. But
well, hearing that the book is a satire kind of lends to what I was saying earlier on, that like, is this movie taking itself seriously or not? And it sounds like it's not, which, I mean, it makes sense with the humor in here, but yeah, I'm curious to see that tone when the movie is said and done.
Absolutely. Okay. Any final thoughts on Bullet Train from either of you? No
Leaving the
purrs?
station.
All right. We're going to go to another ad break here. And then when we return, we're going to be talking about some Netflix Geek'd trailers because they gave us a plethora. So make sure to stick around for that. And we'll be right back. And we are back. So Netflix Geek'd week. I think it's multiple weeks. I feel like I've probably heard about this before, but it kind of just snuck up on me.
They always do it this week, right, where all the gaming showcases are happening. So I feel like it kind of gets sidetracked when we're covering all that stuff.
Absolutely. So, but no, they had many trailers in here. I wanted to start off by just asking you guys on like your thoughts with these Netflix TV shows and movies and stuff. Like, do you guys tune in to majority of them? Do you mostly skip a lot of them? Or is there like one that you really love, but that's kind of the only one that you've checked out? Dylan?
Yeah, I guess I checked out some things recently that I've liked, and I guess I'm not sure if those are Netflix originals technically, or if like where they fall in that kind of grand scheme of things. I haven't like done the research on them, but I would say I definitely have not been watching too much lately, and the stuff I have been watching is been a lot of catching up on Marvel stuff. The only thing I have to watch now is Eternals, and then I'm all caught up on the MCU. So that's kind of where a lot of me and Mud's, like when we're watching stuff together, we've been plugging through all those TV shows and stuff. So I haven't watched a ton lately. I'm trying to think what the last Netflix like original thing. I don't know. We watched a lot of like random of the like reality things and documentaries and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I definitely check out quite a few things. Love, Death, Robots, that came out recently. I've only checked out a couple episodes so far, but that always gets me going when that's ready to go. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a Netflix. I keep my subscription even though they're increasing the prices. I mean, my mom does pay for the subscription for the family, so I'm not worrying about it. But still.
Shouts out to Mama Mas. Jessica.
Yeah. So I am more of a person that I am really bad at waiting. So as an example, Ozark just finished. They just released last season, so I just started that. And then next, Peaky Blinders has their final season coming, so then I'm going to start that. I am more of a binger than...
Do you mean start the shows from the beginning or like the newest season?
I'll start from the beginning and watch the whole series and back to back to back.
Gotcha.
So I just did Shameless because the final season came out of that. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'll, pump through that. And so for me, I don't necessarily start these things right away unless, Stranger Things got a whole ton of hype. So I was like, okay, well, I'll watch this then. Squid Game got a whole ton of hype. I was like, okay, I'll watch this then. But if there's not really anything on the internet popping off, I probably won't start it. I watch a lot of, The Circle, the reality show pieces of it, as well as other reality shows, Drag Race and things like that. So I don't necessarily need more waiting for episodes, especially if they're doing weekly releases.
I'll say the best thing, I was just checking if this was a Netflix original. It is Made, which came up in the GeekVerse Discord today. Made is a fantastic show, really, really good, and that was pretty amazing. So yeah, there's some Netflix things that are just true bangers still. Like they still, I mean, obviously everyone's really digging Stranger Things right now, right? So yeah, still got a lot going on with them.
Made as in like M-A-I-D or M-A-D-E?
Yeah. Came out in, I guess, October, and I think I watched that like in the winter, so recently.
Oh, I
Super
remember
good.
this one.
Mm-hmm.
I watched like an episode and a half.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Like it's a lot on the emotional heartstrings, but just super good.
Nice. Yeah, it's interesting for me. Like I feel like with the Netflix originals, I don't know what it is. It might be like a little bit of a hipster gene I have. If there's like a really relevant show like in the now, I'm just like I'm not watching that. You know, like it can't be as good if everybody's just like praising over it. Like Squid Games, it was something like that where I'm like, ugh, like all these memes, I'm not watching this show. I'm just staying away from it for whatever reason. And then eventually I get on it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just like late to the party because I'm one of those people that's just pushing off these shows that I don't ever watch. So I feel like with the Netflix original ones, I won't watch them like right away. I'll watch them like sometime afterwards, and they'll be like when the whole world and their grandma is basically praising the show. It's like, okay, I guess I gotta check these ones out. But the big pusher for the Netflix in my household is Shay for sure. She loves Netflix original, other like the animated shows that they do, the movies she really likes, like those To All the Boys I Loved Before, like Kissing Booth, like these super like cheesy teen angst like rom-com thing. She loves them. Like those are her guilty pleasures, and I love it. You know, it's great that she has it for there. But I remember just like, I think even on the podcast we were talking about like when the Netflix prices were going up, it's like, oh, like what's really keeping me on Netflix these days when we have so many other streaming services, right? And then like that was where I had the conversation with Shay. She's like, no, we're never getting rid of it. 'Cause she loves all these things. And a lot of these trailers that they showed off in the Netflix Geek'd Week, I'm like, oh my god, this is just like right up her alley. So it's awesome. You know, like there is that audience, obviously, like she's a part of it that just really likes the Netflix original stuff that they're putting out there. And it's cool because I feel like a lot of it feels different. They can go pretty wild, a lot of like fantasy type shows, and they can do a lot of stuff, a lot of content. So that's really awesome. So for, my gosh, what are we even talking about right now? We're talking about, we haven't even started talking about.
We didn't start
asking
talking
a question
about one,
Netflix.
We didn't start.
Thanks for bringing me back on, but where we were. So yeah, that's kind of just my Netflix thoughts, I guess there.
I like the
us.
movies better.
You like the movies better?
Yeah, 100%. Put it on while I'm eating and just hanging out, and that's it. It's not a huge 10-hour commitment. And you guys all know that I am like the Netflix and fail queen. I've seen all of the bad Netflix movies.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. You're renowned on the podcast for actually quite enjoying a lot of the Netflix.
You gotta love a
fails.
good bad Netflix movie.
And there are many.
There are many. Right on. So yeah, our first one that we'll talk about today is The Sandman. Did this trailer call to you guys? Because it really didn't for me. Maybe I'll just go first here as I'm going along. I don't know what it was with this trailer. I was just like really uninterested in it. I don't know if like the main lead, I was getting just weird vibes from him. He was an interesting. I'm assuming he's gonna be the villain or something like that. But overall, the show, it didn't have a lot like calling me in. I think there was some cool effects of just like CGI moments that like looked good. It didn't look like a really cheesy sci-fi channel graphics, you know, like what I've seen in the past. So I think that is good. I can't remember if this is like from a book or something, like it's from some other source material. Oh, it's from a graphic novel. That's what it is. Yes. So like maybe there's a big audience for that would be coming back. That's pretty cool for that audience, I guess. But just the first trailer really didn't have much that was calling me in. And I again, like I don't even know the main reason for those thoughts. What did you guys think?
I feel the same. I think this is the one out of the batch that I feel like I have nothing to say about. So you know, the worst podcast host of all time is me for that. But I don't know. It just looks bad and generic and cheesy. I'm not into this one at all. I will not be checking out The Sandman.
Yep, I'm same. I found myself when the trailer was playing, I was like, I'm going to go look at what the comments say because it's just, you know, ADHD.
Good comments? Fun comments?
So people were saying that the main actor that was cast looks exactly like the graphic novel, so they got that going.
That's cool.
That's good.
But looking it up, it says that efforts to adopt the Sandman to a film began in 1991.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Long time.
Older than me.
There's a lot going on to get to this point, and I don't know, might even hinder it to a degree of, obviously there's been some shifting Either way, I won't be the one to find out. I don't plan on watching it. I don't have any interest in it.
Yeah, it looks a little bit darker than the shows that Shay normally watches. So I might not even be able to have her thoughts from this.
No
one.
angsty teens in this one.
You know, chat, let us know if you're interested in the Sandman. But moving on from that, the next one we have to talk about is not dark, because that's not actually a trailer. That is what Travis was referring there was the 1899. I think that's the movie. So it's from the same makers that did Dark. Did any of you check out Dark?
No, sir.
Yeah, you did, Jessica? What do you think of it?
Yeah. Once the final season came out, that was when I watched it.
Right on. That one's it's German originally, right? So you can either watch it subtitled or dubbed. Or am I completely wrong there?
Yeah. I don't know if if it's German, but it is foreign language.
Yeah.
And you got to watch it original language with subtitles.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
So this is all Dark is all about, time travel, and this person's connected to this person and this timeline and that timeline, and it's one of those ones you have to kind of watch and pay attention and connect all these dots to keep everything going in your own brain, even just to follow along. There's sites dedicated to just making spiderweb maps. So yeah, exactly. And yeah, you like my so I'm excited to see something by the same creators. I liked what they did. I enjoy those kind of thought-provoking, follow along, have to watch out for every detail kind of movies or shows. So that does intrigue me for sure. Did either of you watch Dark?
No, I've only heard good things from it, actually. I had a buddy at work that was saying it was absolutely phenomenal. He thinks Stranger Things is overrated, and he thinks that it's a better Stranger Things. He absolutely loved that show. And then just recently my physiotherapist was telling me to get on that one. So
I brought it up in the chat. You were probably like, oh, no, Jessica's raving about it. I'm too hipster.
I'm too hipster. I'm going to wait, for the whole world to be talking about this show, and then I'll eventually watch it in secret.
Never happened.
But for this trailer, I think there was some interesting things showing off of like enough mystery and intrigue to kind of get me interested. It's one of those things, though. It's just like, my schedule is so like tight with podcasts, like things where if we're not doing a review for something, I probably won't be watching right away unless it's like something Shay and I are watching together. But I think it had enough like interesting things about it. I don't know why I started saying that. But I don't know. I'm interested in hearing just again, like, I don't know if people on our Discord are checking out or just other people I know that check it out, and I want to hear their initial thoughts because I probably won't check it out right away, but I think it had enough in there that kind of had me interested, and if I hear like enough good things word of mouth, I could definitely see myself checking it out. It just looked really, really weird and interesting, and some of the CGI looked pretty damn good, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'm probably won't be checking it out right away, but could be persuaded to think otherwise. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I mean, it's definitely got Titanic vibes going on to me.
Yeah.
But adding in some kind of wild imagery, which I don't know what to take of that. Like, I probably could have freeze framed and stopped on some of it, but I feel like kind of near the end of the trailer, there's just quick flashes of all these different, like, I don't know, ritual or like cult like images and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's hard to dig into it too much just off of a like 1 minute long trailer. I could definitely see myself checking out an episode of this one. Obviously, I don't know Dark or the people who work on this, and I actually don't know a single person from the cast, so it would be going in to a whole new kind of experience, but nothing wrong with that sometimes. So I could see myself checking out first episode, or this was a TV show, right? This one? TV series, yeah.
I'll double check that one. I think you're correct.
Yeah, it looks like it is. So I could see myself checking out the first episode and see how it goes. But yeah, I don't really have much allegiance to it in terms of like the people who are behind it at all.
Okay, so this one is actually same thing, foreign language. It's German, multilingual, epic period mystery horror television. I love that, just like string of genres right there. So there you go. Makes sense if it's coming from the same.
That's like one of those stupid genres that like Netflix has on their categories. That it's like just all these random words that are just somehow stitched together.
I'm looking for my like continue watching. It's giving me like multilingual epic period mystery horror thriller. It's like
with a strong female lead. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not looking for this category. Jessica, What do you think? You're the only person that's checked out Dark. Has this trailer got you excited?
So,
Or are you gonna just wait till the last season's announced and then maybe check it out?
I mean, probably, unless
Yeah.
everyone raves about it. So the trailer was. We are talking about Day Shift, right? That was.
No, this one is
$18.99.
$18.99. It wasn't in the notes initially because Travis just wrote Dark, but he meant to write like from the creators of Dark, $18.99.
Yeah, see, that's what I. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Off camera, I asked. I was like, "Is there something related to this that I was supposed to watch?" And he's like, "Did you read Discord?"
No.
Yes,
Did you
I
watch
read
it?
Discord, and you didn't post what exactly I was supposed to watch. So I've never watched this trailer apparently, but Dark is a good Dark is a good show.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is too. That's all I can add because
We're getting
yeah, a little
we're getting a
salty
solo
there.
Jessica review for that one. Possibly. No.
3 years from now. Yeah.
3 years from now. Okay.
I'll do the final season.
Final season. Just like review of the final season, or like give your thoughts overall when that final
If you
season
guys
comes.
review season 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th season's the final one, I'll hop on that.
I did
fourth
not sign up
season.
for this. I
Yeah,
already had to
that's-
watch Umbrella Academy. I'm not doing any more of that. Crap.
I'm excited for Umbrella Academy. Come on now.
I know, I'm just throwing shade for no reason. It's probably good. I don't know.
I respect the shade. Okay. So with that being said, we're moving on over to the Midnight Club. Actually, no, we're not doing that one. Actually, yeah, let's do that one first. Let's do
Let's
that one
do it.
first. It's out
Same
of order,
vibes.
but that's okay. Yeah, the Midnight Club. I gotta just pull that one up to refresh my memory.
This is from the creators of Haunting at Hill House
Oh,
and
okay.
Bly
Yes,
Manor,
yes,
and it
yes,
looks
yes.
like the exact same thing. It's a big mansion, and there's people looking at the camera, kind of funny. To me, like it just looks the exact same like kind of tone and setting. And I checked out a bit of both of those shows, and they were all right, but I guess I didn't stick around the whole way. I think people really liked Hill House, so I'm probably underselling that one. But for me, I guess I checked out an episode or two and then felt okay. But it was really well made. I guess I'm just feeling like creators of this, I don't know, are they running out of ideas? Like I kind of feel like they're just doing the same thing over and over again, but kind of an uneducated opinion on that one. But I can't say this trailer really hooked me in and made me want to say like, oh, I got to check out this new show that they're working on.
Yeah, so I remember watching this one, and I haven't seen those other ones that you listed off, but just in this trailer, because they're just like panning to each character and they like say their little one line that's like staring at the camera. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing with this marketing here, but it is not working for me like at all. I am so uninterested in this. Again, that like might be a little harsh here, but like Shay probably won't watch this with me if it's along like that thriller, darker vibe. And it's just, I don't know, because I haven't seen those other ones. There's not much like pulling me in, and this initial just little trailer thing. Would you call that a trailer, or just like a promotional like sequence? Because it's just like they're not showing anything from the show. It's just
You're
like
kind of right. It is weird, isn't it?
yeah,
It says
just like
it's an official
catchphrases.
or official teaser is what it says.
Oh, okay.
I think the idea is that like those two shows that they worked on were pretty big, so
Yeah.
I think it's probably just them saying the next show from the people who made this is probably the idea. But it is weird. You're right.
Yeah, but whatever they did work for me. So I will personally not be checking this one out. Jessica, what are your thoughts on this?
So I guess we kind of got the full spectrum because I watched and enjoyed both of
Oh, nice.
the Haunting
Haunting
on
on
House
Hill
Hill and Bly Manor. So for me, I'm excited about this. When I saw it was by the same creators, I was 100% in. And yeah, I do agree. It didn't really give much. So, I am kind of looking online, and it says, do you guys want to know what it says? Because this is a teaser and give stuff away.
Let's do it.
Basically, it says it follows a group of terminally ill patients at a hospice who begin to gather at midnight to share scary stories. And it is
Ooh.
plural. So I'm wondering if it's going to be, each episode is that someone tells a different story.
That would make
And-
sense.
And each episode is, almost could be watched as its own solo piece,
Yeah.
which would be different and interesting. Either way, like these ones because they are just standalone seasons. You get a beginning, middle, end all in one. There's no waiting for seconds. So I'll watch this one when it drops for sure.
It's weird. Like coming out in October, you would think they would have some more footage to show, like give you a glimpse of what these episodes will be. It's kind of strange to me.
It is kind of strange. I think knowing like that fact that it possibly could just be like each episode like its own story. I think that little like teaser sequence of just them like dropping these lines and like getting a feel sort of what the tone of the show could be. I think that kind of makes a little bit more sense there. But I agree with you. I think they have to have some sort of trailer that's showing just glimpses of like each little snippet, just to have like, what am I actually gonna be watching? I'm not gonna be having these people drop these one-liners like in the camera, like what I got in this teaser. So I definitely think they're gonna have to have one more trailer there. But I think no matter what's on that trailer, I don't think there'll be much that can actually sway me over. I don't know. Could be wrong there. But yeah, Midnight Club sounds like Jessica's checking out that one. I've heard Haunting Hill House. I feel like more than Bly Manor. Is that what you said? And it's another one I want to check out. Shay won't watch with me, so it's gonna be those weird ones where I just have time to watch something by myself. But because it has Love in it, right? From You, in that one.
I don't think so.
The actress.
Oh, it in Haunting of Hill House, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Bly Manor, I think, or both.
So I really like her. So I think that would be a fun one to check out. And because did you guys do a review for that? Because I remember there was a peer when you guys were talking about it. Okay, you're just watching.
I didn't. I think it maybe exists on the channel. Maybe Travis did.
Maybe somewhere in the archives.
Check the archives.
It's not in our archives. It does not exist. So okay, moving on from Midnight.
I'm gonna just throw this out quickly.
Do it.
Just to kind of support my guess about it each being different. Each one, the teleplay, whatever that is, each one has two different names on it, and all of them have the mic flange, but then every other one has a different name as like the supporting person. So it kind of seems like there is someone different working on each episode with him, which kind of does lend it to each one being a different story.
Oh, okay. Mike Flanagan, not Flange.
Yeah. Flange.
That's what the cool kids call him. My flange, flanginator.
This is college. This is his keg stand.
Flangey.
Yeah.
He's my buddy. We're close enough that I get to go ahead and do that.
He's like your Margot Robbie just coming to give you a kiss on the cheek on the side of the podcast there.
It was a lick, not a kiss.
Sorry.
Right on. Anything else on Midnight Club? Going once, going twice. All right, moving on over to Resident Evil. This one, for me personally, I think had the most hype because I haven't seen like the last movie they did. I think I had like middle grounds of excitement for it, but then I just heard it was pretty meh. So it's like, okay, that's lower of the priority list. But this TV show, everything about it that I've seen, I've actually been pretty positive. I think like the scale of what they're showing looks really damn good. I don't think the show is going to be quite, I think it's pretty bold to compare it to something like The Walking Dead. But honestly, like some of the shots, it looks like to that quality where it looks really good. And it looks like we're going to like a lot of different places. And I think the fact that they're showing like before everything hits the fan with just like the clean Umbrella, I almost said Umbrella Academy, the Umbrella like labs, I guess, like that aesthetic, and then it goes to like when the apocalypse basically happens and it's just like war torn. I love the mix that we're seeing in these trailers because it really feels like we're going to be getting quite a lot of both times, and I'm really interested in that because I obviously most of the time with Resident Evil we get like after everything goes wrong we just have zombies everywhere, but I am interested in the early like lab before shit hits the fan era, for lack of a better term, I guess. So for me personally, I'm really excited for this. I think they have some fun nods to just the other iconic Resident Evil things. Like we have the dogs in this one. I think we've had them in all the trailers, so they're really pushing that down our throats. Like, hey, you want your Resident Evil dogs? You're getting them. And for me, that's working. And I think everything overall, like it just has me really positive and looking forward to it. So I'm very much looking forward to this series. What about you guys? Yeah,
I'm trying to see how many episodes we got in here. this is a TV show, but I can't seem to get a quick answer for this via the Google. I don't know. Maybe that hasn't been announced or something. But what do you guys expect here? Like, how many episodes do you think this will be? I'm just trying to think about how they're going to. I mean, I don't even know what the budget is, but I'm trying to think how they're going to spread the wealth on this one.
I would guess 10. Oh, IMDb says the episode guide has 8.
Okay, that's pretty classic for Netflix, I guess.
Oh yeah, and they all have names and release dates, so it looks like 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was going to say, based on what you were saying, Kirklin, of just a lot to dig into here, because I thought this was a movie, actually a new movie. So I was like, wow, that is quite a lot of different stuff to tackle in one movie's time. But I'm curious to see how they structure these episodes. If it is just one chronological story, if they're cutting back and forth between different stories, things like that within the world. I've been like getting really into the games with 7 and 8. I really like both of those. But I got to be honest, this trailer I don't know what it is with Netflix trailers, but I feel like they just whoever's cutting these trailers, maybe they need to get a couple new people in there to help spice them up a bit, because it's just not doing much for me. I think I will be down to check this one out. I'm really quite a casual. Like, I've played, other than 7 and 8, I've just dabbled in a couple of other games, and I haven't actually seen any of the movies in the past. So I'm really not a big RE head, but I want to be. So this seems like a good way to get in there. So I could see myself checking this one out. Definitely checking out the first episode and see if where I go from there. Or, if we do a review, like maybe I could get roped into doing the whole thing. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I think the effects are fine. I guess it's just the characters, the world. I don't know. Just not completely hooking me so far. I liked in Resident Evil 7 and 8. I like how kind of grounded and simple those are in terms of the setting of. Whereas this is more like huge zombie outbreak with thousands of zombies everywhere. And so it's definitely a different tone, much more action movie blockbuster than the games, which are more creepy and I guess just have these creepy vibes that build up over time, building up to one big moment. So a different vibe. I'm not sure if it's the vibe for me, but I could see myself at least checking this series out to see how it goes.
So I have seen almost every one. I think one or two I haven't seen for Resident Evil, but I haven't played any of the games. I hate the controls. The controls absolutely drive me batty. I will never play them.
You mean like the old control, like the tank controls,
the PS1
right?
era one?
Yeah, like you gotta.
Yeah, well, the new games don't have that.
I
mean, I guess they kind of do in a way, but it's not as egregious, I guess.
Luckily, you're getting like remakes of basically all of them. I think they announced that Resident Evil 4 is getting a remake now, so that might be your opportunity, because they redo all the controls in that aspect.
If they redo it so I use the controller properly, then I would be interested. So I hate it. You turn and then walk, and then turn and then walk, and it's just.
Oh yeah, very stiff movements. You have to be like facing your opponent. If you're not, your shots are missing. Oh yeah, dated.
So, but on to the series. So. Because it, is based in 3 decades in the future, so whatever that equals, 56, I think it said in it, 86, something like that.
I'm not a math guy.
Yeah.
Well, it said the date that it was supposed to be set in.
I can pull that up. Just keep talking. I'll look for it.
So basically, it looks like they've kind of just learned a way to live with the T virus in little compounds almost, because obviously the outbreak is still happening. So I'm interested to see if they talk about how they got to this point from zombie apocalypse to everything being kind of a normal, livable situation. So that says 2022, and then there's another date farther in. So yeah, I am interested to see that. And then, like you said, it will be kind of fun to see the whole build up of, how we get there. There's like spiders, and 2036 is another date they throw out.
So it looks like that's the post-apocalyptic time period.
I don't remember when the original ones were set,
but 20. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, okay.
So
I'm mistaken.
I do like that, at least if they are taking away from whoever that chick that played all of the movies.
Mila Jovovich.
Okay. At least if they're taking away from her, they're going to like a completely different time period, and it's not just the exact same. But
Badass female lead. Yeah, it's definitely different. Because that would have been weird, eh? They just like have this new kick-ass female lead to just replace her. That's like, okay, what are we doing here? We're not like evolving the franchise at all. We're just trying to replace this actress that is no longer doing it. I agree with you. I think it's a smart decision.
So, yeah, I think I'm more interested in the kind of the compound piece and seeing how they play that off in the beginning. You know, it's fun to watch zombie killing and zombie spiders and all that, but Wilson, I just kind of want to see how they take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spiders look terrifying. It's gonna be a section I might have to fast forward there. I'm not a spider guy, but all like the creatures and the effects in here, I think look pretty damn good. Honestly, there was, I forget which part of the trailer it was, but like the main female lead, she had like a caterpillar or something on her hand, and the next thing you see is just like this giant, I don't even know if it is a caterpillar, but it's just this like giant thing that she's running from. It's just like, man, this is a very different side of Resident Evil that I've seen before. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited to just see, like a different take, or not necessarily a different take, just new monsters and creatures and stuff that's gonna be coming from this T virus. So it looks like 2022 is actually like the pre. So it's like the pre-virus thing, because in the trailer at the beginning it says like 2022, or maybe that's just the date when it comes out. Oh my god, I'm getting so confused now by this trailer.
Well, the description says nearly 3 decades after the discovery.
Yeah,
of
I know.
the
That's why it doesn't make
T-virus.
sense if it's 2022, because if it's showing London 2036 and the world's just red.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
everything, all these trailers are for things that are coming out this year, right? So
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. You are
Wait and
correct.
see.
So yeah, tune into that to find out when the before the zombies happen, what era that is. Are you guys checking this one out? I apologize if you already said that or not. Dylan said you'll check
Hard
out
maybe,
the first
yeah.
episode. Possibly. Oh yeah, possibly get roped in for the rest of it. Jessica, sounds like you're a little bit more positive.
Yeah, honestly, it's not. If I don't get to it right away, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I'm not rushing out to see it, but probably same boat. I might get an episode and a half in. That seems to be kind of my nice number. I give it a chance, and if it's
Mm-hmm.
worth it, I'll keep going. But I don't know that it will keep me sticking around.
Yeah, just
Okay.
over a month away, July 14th. That one's dropping. Imagine every episode will be out. Very nice bingeable watch for people like Jessica that wants to just get it all out of the way. So there we go.
Not all out of the
I'm gonna
way,
take
that's
us.
one season.
Sorry,
It's not all out of the way. It's just one season.
it's just canceled like the day after it releases.
Perfect.
we're no longer
Okay.
adding more seasons.
they have
Hopefully
been
not.
canceling a lot.
Hopefully it's not
So
good.
there
They
you
have
go.
been, yeah, absolutely. I think I'm gonna take us to our last ad break here, and then we'll be back to talk about the rest of these Netflix Geek Week trailers. So we will be right back. And we are back. So what's up next? We have the Cabinet of Curiosities,
Mhm.
the caster of Curiosity. You want to take us away on this one? Love the name.
Yeah, this is another one of those 8 episodes. Each episode is a different story. I was just looking at IMDb, and some of the actors are in 8 episodes, such as Eric Andre, which I think is very
I know, that threw
interesting
me
for,
off.
horror, and also Kate Micucci. I don't know how you exactly pronounce her name, but she's all like, I also know her as a more of a comedic actress. So interesting that this show does not have comedic vibes or appear to in any way, but got some big comedic actor chops in there. But yeah, there's another one. So 8 episodes, different stories, even bringing in different directors who have made previous things. Like the one that I've seen out of the list was Babadook, which is a fantastic movie. So I guess the director or writer or whatever it is of Babadook is like making an episode for this, which is a follow-up or just a reboot, or I don't know what exactly it is. Hard to tell. This is another one that I feel like there isn't a ton to dig into in the trailer. I like the shots. There's a lot of creepy imagery. Guillermo del Toro is fantastic. I'm a big fan of him. So I'm all in on this one. I think this is very exciting. And even though I only know the Babadook in terms of these stories that they're talking about in here, I think this is like a guaranteed watch for me. Like I'm really, really excited for this one.
Mm-hmm. Jessica.
I am in love with a lot of Guillermo del Toro. I'm probably butchering that.
No, you did good.
I did good. Perfect. I'm a fan of a lot of his work. I've seen, Splice it's Adrian Brody again. Loved him in that. Pan's Labyrinth. The fact that it's him plus different directors on each episode, I think it's going to be a great combination. And the Netflix description, when you Google it, says that, it's challenging the concept of horror, with each episode being, more horrifying than the next. So it'll be interesting too to see how, that progresses as far as them being their own individual ones, but how it kind of changes as you go through it. Honestly, I'm excited. This will probably be a day one watch, especially with each episode being its own standalone thing. And I'm super excited about it. Like it was mentioned, we got a stacked cast for, different episodes. Who knows exactly who's where, but
we got Rupert Grint in there. I haven't seen him in a while.
I know.
Yeah.
Andrew
There was
Lincoln.
there were so many names, like when they were listing off like who's gonna be in the show, and the two that I noticed was Rupert Grint and Eric Andre, and I'm like, what's gonna be going on here? It's two individuals I wasn't expecting to have in there, and Eric Andre just wasn't expecting to have a part in like a more horror, like serious type show. So I'm very excited to just see what happens there. They even have what's his name? The dude from not Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead. Who's like the
Andrew
lead
Lincoln.
in that? Andrew Lincoln. I haven't watched much of that show, but he's in there for apparently one episode, and I think the fact that this is an anthology series, that's really exciting. Because you can just, if you don't like a certain episode, maybe you'll really like the next tale. I love Guillermo del Toro. I love the stuff that he does. It's very uniquely his own, and I think he's just a name that I've really grown to like as I've just gotten older, be able to like appreciate films a little bit more. But yeah, like my first initial thoughts, I think this is freaking terrifying. Honestly, like I was super spooked just watching the trailer. So I don't think I'll be watching this with Shay. I don't even think I'll be able to commit to it like right away when it first drops.
Wow.
I definitely think there'd be a show. Like usually the person I watch horror movies and stuff with is my dad, so I could definitely see us like putting some time together and just watching this and getting freaked out and spooked. And I think I'm really excited to see like Rupert Grint in something other than Harry Potter, because I think that's the only thing I've seen him in. And with how I'm getting Daniel Radcliffe and things these days, it's just it's so fun to just have them in completely different roles, because obviously I just like see them as those like child actor roles that they had when they're growing up doing Harry Potter for many years. So really excited to see what happens with this one, and I hope it's I hope it's just a knockout, honestly. I really hope a lot of people are just praising this, because then it would just mean that we could possibly get more, down the lines, especially Guillermo del Toro. Just stuff that comes out of his brain is really unique and original. So
I just want to throw it out before I step away. Eric Andre is listed to be in 8 episodes. So obviously not be, the horror piece of it. He might be the person telling the stories, or whatever it is, if they're all around a campfire or whatever.
I could see it that he plays like a different character in each episode.
yeah.
They've done that before for, even obviously it's a different team, but still Netflix with the Fear Street trilogy, where there's like there was the same actors across the trilogy and they just played different characters. So I could see it being that kind of idea too. Like I could see Eric Andre as just like a character who like dies in each episode, and that could be a funny thing to explore.
Like more and more gruesome with each episode.
Yeah.
Just kill him. It's like first 2 minutes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Eric Andre. Like the Eric Andre show, I've never really watched it. It's just, I don't know what it is.
It's something else. Yeah.
It's something else. Yeah. There's an audience for it. I've met people that absolutely love it, so it's great that it's out there for people like that. But I think I'm just interested in seeing, like, because I picture this being a more serious tone. So to have someone like that in it, I hope it works out. I hope it's really good, and I hope I'm able to like appreciate him for something like different than his own medias he's been doing, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I mean, I will say his Hot Ones episode is like the funniest thing ever.
Yeah,
like he is
I
a
still
funny
watch that one.
guy. His show is
Yeah.
just so stupid that you just lose brain cells like if you watch it for too long. But they also are like 10 minutes long each episode, so
That
just
helps.
like watch it one a year, one
Yeah,
10
one a
minute
year.
episode a
Yeah.
year, and you're good to
Every
go.
like full moon or something, just sit down with
Yeah,
a glass of
exactly.
wine, watch some Eric Andre show. Right on. Okay, let's move on over to The School for Good and Evil.
Yeah.
Another one that
I feel
has
like we
some
should
big
actually wait
names.
on that until Jessica gets back.
That's a good
What do you
call.
think?
That's a good call. No,
Yeah.
that's a good call.
Go to the other two,
So
maybe.
Let's skip that one and let's move over to The Sea Beast. My
Mhm.
name. I'm the Sea
Yeah.
Beast, Kirklin Batzer.
The Sea Beast himself. Here he is.
The Sea Beast
Exclusive
himself,
scoop.
exactly. This was one I felt kind of similar to Strange World, where like visually and I think just the universe that they brought us to, it has me really excited, but maybe the characters and some of the dialogue wasn't hitting the most for me.
Mhm.
So it's one that I'm really interested in, but with like some of the comments I had on Strange World, where I think it could be like possibly a letdown, like if I just really aren't syncing with some of the characters or just the overall story. But I think like the adventure that we're gonna go on is good enough to make it enjoyable. But I hope it has that little something, that je ne sais quoi, that just lifts it to make it like a really standout animated film. Because I don't know, like Netflix, they've done some animated things in the past, and like some of them have been pretty damn good, but I still think they're not quite on that tier of like some of the Disney or
This feels like a
like
departure
that.
for me from
Yeah.
for their animated stuff. It seems like one, like maybe just higher budget for a movie. I mean, this is from the creator, writer, whatever it was of Big Hero 6 and Moana, which obviously you're a Big Hero 6 guy.
I
so
love both of those. Moana.
so
they're
that's
phenomenal.
like, and it looks like that quality too, right? So to me, this
Yeah.
seems like a step up. And maybe I'm just not watching enough of their animated stuff, but does this feel like a step up for you from Netflix's animated movie?
I would say yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I'm trying to think of the last Netflix animated one I've watched. There was oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget the name. It's like a family versus robots, something like the Martins versus the robots, something like that.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
I feel like the
specifically,
only thing I've seen recently would be Love, Death, Robots, and that's very different, and it's like very short episodes. But yeah, just like a theatrical movie. Like this is something that they could put in theaters. I think they've been doing that recently, right? Like I've been talking about, okay, which movies of ours could we put in theaters as well? I could see this being one of them. Going to
Yeah.
compete in that Pixar market. You even put like from the creator of Big Hero 6, Moana, you put that on the cover. Most people probably think this is a Pixar movie. So yeah, that's quite the departure for them for sure.
Absolutely. So Mitchell's versus the Machines is the one I was thinking of.
There you
and
go.
It had a lot of praise. Travis really liked it. I know, and some other people I've heard of.
Nice.
And for me personally, I really didn't. The animation really bothered me, and it was kind of hard for me to get in it for that sense. And just the story, I just wasn't that interested in. But again, clearly, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm in the minority there. I do think vast majority liked it. But I agree with you. I think this one definitely has that step up factor where it feels higher quality. We have Carl Urban is the voice of the main lead, and we have Zaris Angel Hator. Major apologies for butchering that name, but
The
so
Sea Beast. Here, let me look up this cast here.
yeah, there's it just shows like the two, so maybe there's just two people in this entire movie.
Whoa,
That could
crazy.
be kind of unique. It's funny to see when you pull that up, just two people there. But I love Carl Urban. He's one of those actors that's just kind of been in a lot of things, and I've quite liked him in there. So I'm hoping there's some really good character stuff that makes me really fall for the characters, because I think like the adventure, like I was saying, is like it's enough to make me want to watch this, I think. And the visuals look good, the water animation looks gorgeous. That's a big part of Moana, is just like the ocean and how beautiful it looks. And like, I think it translates over to this one where it looks really, really good. And yeah, some of the creatures that they interact with are just super, super adorable and cute. So I definitely think I'll be watching this one like pretty damn close to like right when it comes out,
Nice.
maybe opening night. Looks like it's July 8th, which is like just a
Oh.
day and a month away, so very, very soon.
That's Thor. That's Thor's day. So that might
Yeah.
be tricky to watch that one.
Guess I'm skipping Thor to watch this. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, anything else on CBs? We'll get
Yeah.
Jessica's thoughts when she's back.
I mean, haven't really shared my thoughts on it, but I think it looks like I think it looks really good. Obviously, I think it's been a long time since I've seen I got like a good pirate story.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm excited for that. I think the actual story and the characters, once again, like a little generic in terms of like the classic kind of naive, happy-go-lucky kid and kind of jaded adult get grouped up on this adventure together, and he's going to become more playful and fun over it,
yeah.
and she's going to, I don't know, become wiser or something like it seems like something we've seen before.
What's the line that
but-
the captain gives? Like, she reminds me of you when you were that age. It's just like, how many
Right.
times have I heard that line?
I like this one. Yeah, like, okay, well, I get it. I've seen these lines before. With all that being said, I still think it's a fun a fun adventure to go on. I wonder if there is a deeper message to it or some extra layer to it. But even if it's just a fun pirate flick, cool. It's colorful, looks great. Hopefully it has some good music and all that. And like, I'm super down for this. I won't be watching it opening night because of Thor. And I think I'm gone that weekend too. Like right after Thor, I'm probably out to the woods to go camping. So I don't think I'll get a chance to watch this right on release date. But I think definitely check it out in the summer for sure.
Jessica in the chat, do either of
Whoa.
you play Sea of Thieves? And if so, does it affect excitement? It definitely, when you're talking about the swashbuckling pirate film, I was definitely thinking of Sea of Thieves. We've done some streams for Sea of Thieves actually, so there's some
Yeah, I don't know if
evidence
that-
of us playing that.
I don't know if that necessarily drums up excitement, but Sea of Thieves is great. Yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah.
I think something that I had in the back of my mind that I was comparing it to is something like Pirates of the Caribbean, where it's like that's through Disney, so it's obviously more centered for like families, and there's just some like goofy humor that comes with like pirates done that way, and I definitely think this movie's gonna be scratching that.
Definitely.
That's something. Scratching that something there.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, I'm really excited for that one. As I said, we'll probably get Jessica's quick thoughts if and when she comes back. But let's just move on over to the next movie. Then we said we're gonna save School for Good and Evil for Jessica. So let's go on a day shift here. We got Jamie Foxx on this one. Dylan, we'll take us
Yeah.
away.
Well, I mean, so I guess good to set this one up that this is kind of more of a promo with clips than it is a trailer. So that's interesting. I don't know about that. But, I mean, the things they're saying are good. Of like, okay, we got like good stunt coordinators who take this very seriously and like showing some of that stuff of getting people who can actually do all these crazy contortions with their body to be these like zombie, vampire, whatever they are characters. Like that's fun. They stressed the practical effects. They even showed like some car explosions that were all practical effects or mostly practical effects. That's really cool. So I'm down for that. I don't know if that doesn't necessarily make a good movie though. Like it's nice, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're gonna be winning Golden Geeks or anything like that. But the cast is cool. Got some good people behind it. Like I'm down to check it out. It seems like a fun ride. I guess it's hard for me to break down too much without actually seeing a trailer because I don't. I was gonna say it's hard to tell the exact vibe or tone, but it does seem like it is gonna be quite jokey, lighthearted, more on the action side than it is like a drama or something like that. Obviously, but yeah, I think this could end up being like a really good movie.
Absolutely, yes.
Where are you at?
I'm pretty excited for it. When I first watched the trailer, I'm like, man, where is this actual trailer? Because I just keep finding this like behind the scenes like extra
Yeah.
shots thing.
I did click on 3 different videos, which maybe that was their idea. It's like I'm helping them get viral because I've clicked on 4 trailers now trying to see it.
Maybe there is something to it. Because like I'm seeing behind the scenes of these shots, so I'm seeing something of the movie, but I'm seeing the stunt coordinator just get tugged on a rope as Jamie Foxx shoots him. But all in all, I think like on paper this is a pretty fun idea of Jamie Foxx, great actor. I think he's going to be a great lead for something like this, of just a like you said, a more fun, comedic, like vampire. It's weird. They're like a vampire zombie thing where like I know they call them vampires, but I was getting zombie vibes, which is how they were like contorting their bodies and stuff. And, so I think it'll be lots of fun. I think the action will look really good. The director is J.J. Perry. I haven't seen anything he's directed. Apparently he's an American martial artist, action director, actor, and stuntman. So he's got a lot of experience with doing just stunts and practical stunts, I'm sure. So
yeah, everything on his IMDb, like the top things are like stunts for Fast and Furious, John Wick, like things like that. So it's interesting that he's kind of known, or at least on IMDb, known more for being a stunt guy than a director. It's very interesting.
And out of like everything I've seen for this movie so far, I think the biggest standout for me is like the practical effects and the hand-to-hand combat, the like the motorcycles, like racing, like all that stuff looks really good. So I think even if the story is kind of lackluster, I think it'll still be fun visually to watch. So I definitely think that's a positive going forward.
This guy has worked on some. He worked on Django. He worked on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Avatar, Bionicle movie that shows a Taylor, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Pineapple Express, Iron Man.
Oh my gosh,
he's been around the block, dude. Oh my god, what a career!
Triple X,
The Holiday. That's weird. I didn't know there was stunts in The Holiday, but that's a good movie.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So there you go. Day Shift. We even have Dave Franco in there.
Daredevil. Oh my god, what a legend. Sorry, I'll stop. But
no, I love it.
Insane.
Welcome back, Jessica.
Hello and welcome.
We are talking Day Shift right now. Before I throw it to you, I will bring up a quick Patreon comment from the one and only S Bubs. He said, out of all these trailers, in reference to the Netflix Geek'd trailers, this one, being Day Shift, is the one he's the most hyped for. I mean, it's gun fu with vampires and Jamie Foxx. What's not to love? Exactly. It's
I like that
recipe
term,
for a great time.
That's fun.
Yeah, that is awesome. Also very cool that it seems like there's going to be lots of practical stunts. And yeah, exactly. That's what I was basically just saying, of like my biggest positive takeaway is the practical stunts. And if you have someone like J.J. Perry, who's obviously had such a great resume of working on like things like that, I think it'll be well executed. And I think this is the type of movie that, like, if it hits that like 7 and up for me of like quality, maybe 7.5, I think that's a win. Just fun time, not long and dreadful to watch. It'll be fast enough pace to enjoy.
Now, I got to put this out there that Day Shift is his first directed title. So.
Oh yeah.
take it with a grain of salt. He's worked on a lot of movies, but not in the director's chair.
Thanks for clarifying for what I'm saying. He's got such a great resume of everything he's worked on, of being a stunt coordinator, not an actual director.
It's worth saying, I think.
Hopefully it works out really good for him. I think that'll be awesome. But Jessica, Day Shift, starring Jamie Foxx, vampire hunter or slayer, whatever he is.
I'm gonna go in first and say that I only clicked one video. Saw that it was released, and 9 hours ago or whatever it was, and I was like, that's the one. And
oh yeah,
I was just like, this is weird, but that's the one that was released, so not helping them get famous.
Oh, are you saying because Dylan clicked three different videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening in while I was away. So
I respect.
Lurking.
And then it didn't really give much away about what exactly it was. It was more just what you can expect from it. So I did go and look up about it, and it is rated R, which makes it
we love
more
that
interesting. And that was one of the first things when I thought of it being Netflix, is they're okay with having that diversity. Not everything has to be PG, kind of like Disney does, but it does look as well like it's going to be, maybe breaking the fourth wall, talking to the camera, or, kind of that Deadpool vibe is what I was getting, I guess, would be how to put it, where, there's jokes in these fighting situations. So not quite to the same degree. But overall, I think it'll be a fun one, and I think if it lands right with you know, the comedy and the action and the R-ratedness, I think it'll be a hit.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we can hope for, right? If there's nothing else on Day Shift, we'll bring it back quickly to the Sea Beast to get Jessica's thoughts on that one, because as you were away, Dylan and I were talking about. That's when you asked us if we had played Sea of Thieves. Have you played Sea of Thieves, Miss Ladybug? No. Okay.
Nope, I have not.
So you don't have Sea of Thieves like in the back of your mind when you see this trailer. Do you have anything else in the back of mind when we watch this trailer?
Well,
Pirates
that's
of the
what it made me
Caribbean
think
vibes.
of was Sea of Thieves, but I think this is another one where we'll get lots of merchandise for it, you know, all the different beasts. But overall, I am not super excited about it.
No.
I'm not, I guess, the biggest piratey person. I will say that you talking about it being by the creators of Moana and someone
Big
else.
Hero
Hero
6.
6.
Yeah. So I love both those movies. Same as Kirklin. Excuse me. So, you know, that is exciting, but I still don't know that it's enough. I wouldn't go to theaters. It'd be one of those ones I'd probably put it on in the background at home on Disney Plus, or I guess Netflix. Sorry. But yeah, it is. I'm not super excited about it.
Yeah. You mentioned the merchandise thing. Is there a lot of Netflix merchandise like products out there? And like where would they market that? Because obviously Disney, they have all their parks and various stores to sell their own merch there. But for like Netflix, do you just see that in like a random Walmart? Like
I think
here
like a
and there?
Funko Pop, you know, like there's probably a
Funko
lot
Pop,
of Funko
yeah.
Pops out there of Netflix stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you go to Walmart and Target, and they got Disney.
Stranger
things.
Things is pretty huge, right? Like, that
Hot
stuff's
Topic
everywhere.
has got tons
Yeah,
of
it's a good.
Stranger
Oh
Things.
yeah, Hot Topic. There you go. Those
So,
types of shows.
yeah, I mean, Netflix has got to do something, right? They're not doing the best right now. So, why not move into tangible objects again? It used to be DVDs. Now it can be merchandise.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's move on over to what I think is our.
They canceled all their
final-
animated shows so they could make a bunch of merch. That's their
own
business
Funko
strategy.
Pops. They're marketing their own little figurine collectible thing. Okay, our final movie to talk about for trailer wise is The School for Good and Evil, and this one had some big names as well. Let me pull it up there so I don't. I'll probably
Did it?
guess wrong, so I'm gonna pull that one up so I don't screw it up. But yeah, what do you guys think of this trailer?
I
for the
got to hear
film?
what Jessica thinks of this one.
So this one didn't really give anything away, if I'm remembering correctly. It was just kind of what, how do they get to be how they are? And then it said, the School of Good and Evil, and that was just more of a teaser.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. It's like official first teaser, so imagine we'll get more details and a better trailer in the future.
Better trailer. I wouldn't hope for that.
More meaty trailer is maybe what I should have said.
So, yeah, just teaser. Okay. So, I mean, when I first kind of saw it, I thought it made me think of, Descendants? Which was super,
Descendants.
yes.
Did this not make you think of Harry Potter at all?
Oh,
This seems like a
100%
total
different.
Harry Potter ripoff to me. That's why I wanted to hear what you thought, but I'm baffled that you didn't see that when you even the
Maybe-
font, man. Like they have the font rolling out. It's the exact same as the
I was
Harry
gonna say
Potter
this shot
font.
too. It's like, where are we
Yeah.
going here? We're going to Hogwarts.
And it's like there's an alternate world with a magical school. Like all of it is just like Harry Potter ripoff. And that's why I was like, what is the angle here? Like, is this supposed to be satire? Is it like a horror setting of this? But like the trailer doesn't really give me either of those vibes. It just seems
says
very
it's
bland and
fantasy teen.
yeah, it just seems very like drama bland. So is it just ripping off Harry Potter but without doing anything interesting? I don't know what's going on here. I thought this was very puzzling.
Yeah, I was trying. So it looks like it's based on a 2013 novel of the same name. So it's not like Netflix just came up with, okay, well, we have to make our own Harry Potter here. I mean, 2013. Obviously, it's after Harry Potter. Maybe the writer had those thoughts
Yeah.
here, but yeah, it very much made me think of you probably haven't seen it, Dylan, but there was a show that came out. It was called Shadow and Bone. That's another
Whoa.
Netflix original. And that one might have been through a novel as well. But it had a similar vibe where it was like fantasy, had like powers and stuff like that. And I think it's more like teen oriented, kind of like what this one is advertising as well. And Shay absolutely loved that show. I think it's getting a second season here pretty soon, so she's looking forward to that one. And like, she's what I thought of when I watched this trailer. I definitely think she'll be checking this one out. Me personally, I probably won't be. Definitely thought similarities to Harry Potter. I don't know, like I think it's weird when I have those thoughts, but also like it's not the worst thing. Like if they're going to a school for good and like, I think that's kind of a fun concept. So like, no reason not to do that. We have Charlize Theron in there.
I didn't even recognize her. Yeah, I'm on the IMDb page now.
Yeah.
Like, I did not even notice that she was in there.
Michelle Yeoh, I hope I'm saying her name right. She was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Phenomenal actress. And Kerry Washington. So some recognizable names for sure. Oh, look, Lawrence Fishburne in there as well. So, yeah, I hope it comes out and it's really good. But personally, I probably won't be watching it, other than like if Shays has it on, I might just sit with her and watch it. So we'll see what happens with this one. But Dylan, doesn't sound like you're sold.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Harry Potter, but like Crimes of Grindelwald era. So it's like, why would I want to watch this? Like, this
That's
looks
fair. That is
so
fair, yeah.
bland. I don't know. I'm really curious. Like, I don't know, man. Even when they do like flip the title over with and it literally is the same font.
Yeah,
And,
well,
like,
it
I
is.
don't know. I really want to know what the angle is with it. So I could see is it a movie or a TV show?
This one is a TV series, I think.
Like, I definitely see myself checking out like 20, 30 minutes of it just to see what
it's
the
a film.
vibe is. Okay.
So it is a film. Yeah.
Well, still, I same thing. I'll probably watch like maybe 20, 30 minutes and see what the vibe is. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This one seems very strange to me.
I mean, it could be that thing where maybe just like the initial like marketing of it and this first trailer has that vibe, and then when it actually like comes out, it will feel like very separate and its own. It won't just feel like a Harry Potter rip or anything like that. Because you don't want to do that. You do want it to have it on its own. There's positives you can take out of something like Harry Potter, but you do want it to be on its stand on its own. So
yeah,
right on. I'll just catch up on some comments here. See if Jessica comes back to give her thoughts on that one, because I definitely was sleeping on some SBub's comments. So apologies there. So when we were talking about the Sandman, I believe SBub said that it was. Oh my gosh, where was it? I'm totally lost in the comments now. It's a highly acclaimed DC comic and book. So that's in reference to the Sandman. So definitely has its audience out there.
DC and Marvel both have their Sandman, do they?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even think about that. It's probably one of those like niche DC, like realms where it's like, I don't think he's interacting with
whoever
Batman
made
or
them
anything
made
like that.
Sandman first didn't copyright that or trademark that term.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see what else we have. Oh, and then in regards to the Bullet Train trailer, the first trailer has been played in front of like every movie for the last 6 months.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's not a short trailer, so you definitely see a lot of Brad Pitt in those ones. And then SBubs also said he definitely watches more Netflix movies than shows, but he loves that Stranger Things. So I'm in that camp as well. Like I said, I mostly have Shay that gets me to watch the Netflix things with her. There's just so much content out there, it's hard to just watch everything these days, but
gotta pick and choose.
You do have to pick and choose. I think that's it for today. GV episode 485.
There you go.
Dylan Muss, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to just rattle off?
Wow, that was a lot of trailers.
There was a lot of trailers. Yeah, almost some might say a little bit too much.
I don't really watch movie trailers unless I'm at the movies these days.
I know you don't.
Or it's specific podcasting. It was like, check out these 15 trailers. I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot.
There's a lot.
But there's a lot of good stuff in there. Or there's a few good things in there. I'll say that instead. There's a few things that had me intrigued in there.
I will say, I feel like you and I come from a similar camp when it comes to trailers, where like if it wasn't podcasts, I would never watch trailers. Like I would always avoid them because I think it's so fun to go into a movie, just literally not know anything. I was pretty envious of you. You did that with Batman, which I still don't even understand how you like made it that far. I know you went to like a fan event, so you kind of got spoiled like while
God,
you're
oh my God, they spoiled everything.
in the theater. But still, it's a fun way to go about it, especially if the movie is like a Jordan Peele movie, for example, where it's super bizarre and like you don't have any preconceived notions of what to expect come into it. I think it's really fun that way. But you know, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to pull up a trailer and talk about with you guys.
Yeah.
And
Good old
give our
Netflix.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Good old Netflix. So yeah, maybe in the future you'll hear Jessica's thoughts on School for Good and Evil. Do you have any assumptions on what you think?
Well,
I love assumptions.
I am baffled that she didn't like think the Harry Potter comparison.
Which could be a good thing, right? Maybe a lot of people,
I guess so.
They don't have that thought. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is Harry Potter.
I want to see a poll. Someone do a poll of the entire world and ask them, when you saw this trailer,
I
did
want
you
it
think of Harry
accurate
Potter?
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want at least 7 billion people participating in this
Yeah.
poll. Think it'd be split 50-50?
I think so. Yeah, it sounds like it. Or maybe two, like, because me and you both saw the Harry Potter, so maybe like 66% of people, you know,
maybe.
something like that.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Swooping in.
Saved by the Bell. We have the ladybug herself. We are giving our final thoughts and saying goodbye, basically. School for Good and Evil. What do you think of it, Jessica?
Yeah, I'll probably check it out, especially, you know, we got that Harry Potter vibe that I was apparently blind to. But yeah, interested to kind of see more of it. Apparently, it is also based on a novel. So, yeah. Do we have a date for this you guys talked about that I missed?
I didn't talk about it. I should have pulled that up. September 2022. 2022. 2022.
Oh my God.
Ooh, a lot of trailers. Killing my brain.
There's nothing that I know of off the top of my head that's in that area. Like a lot of these other things we've heard has all been July and things like that. So, yeah, I'll probably check it out when it first comes out and see what it's about.
Nice.
But yeah.
When we were comparing it to Harry Potter, Dylan made the comparison. This feels more of like the Crimes of Grindelwald era of Harry Potter. Would you agree with that statement, or do you think it's more of the?
I hope not.
You hope. I love your disgust face there. Yeah, we can stay away from the Crimes of Grindelwald era of Harry Potter. I think that's a plus for everything.
I think, as Buzz mentioned, it took like 5 times for them to finish Crimes or finish Dumbledore.
Right, 4 days.
Because they just couldn't get through it. So, you know, hopefully that's not got the same feel.
Absolutely not. You don't want to. You don't want to feel like you're punishing yourself while watching anything.
Well, he did that, and then he didn't
all it
actually. He ranked a movie lower than that for this year. So, shout outs to Morbius.
Shouts out to Morbius. It's Morbin time. Right on. Yeah, let's close this out. We've been talking lots, doing a lot of trailers. Thank you so much to both of you for joining me tonight. And
Are we
Travis,
not
who was
doing?
here for a little
Are we
bit.
leaving all this new stuff? Travis can talk about it tomorrow.
New stuff. What new stuff are you referring to?
So, DC Film, Black Label happening.
That's last week.
Was this last week?
Yeah,
Oh,
we discussed all
Did
that.
I scroll too far?
You might have
Okay.
scrolled too far.
Yeah,
I
never
I do
scrolled
have a
too
Patreon
far.
comment to read, though.
With the S-Bubs one?
Yeah, did you read that?
Yeah, I read that one already.
Come on,
Yes,
Kirklin
very
knows what he's
nice.
doing. He crushed
Yeah,
it.
same my first rodeo. Thank you. But
It's past my bedtime. I'm
That's fair.
old.
we're getting along. I know. We got Obi-Wan here pretty soon.
It's after
too,
9.
Some of us. It is after 9, which
That means it's
tater
Taylor time.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Original meme. Alrighty, I'm gonna sign us off here. So tune in next time. It won't be boring. Lots of laughs, lots of fun, and yeah, see you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye.